Okay, hello world. Always liked that. Always liked making that program when I was a kid. Welcome to Starbase Expanded. What number up to, Matt?
18.
Number 18. There we go. I see some people in chat already, and a few people here. Not quite a few people here in Discord. That's pretty awesome. So today, I believe we've got Jake with us today. G'day, Jake.
Hey
Thought we had
everyone,
Jake.
hope you're all
There you go.
hope you're all doing really well. And yeah, I think we've got a few exciting subjects to dive into today, and yeah, looking forward to it.
And we've got Alex as well, helping along as well. G'day, Alex.
Hello, everyone. G'day, Steph. It's been a few weeks, so I popped my head in, see how the haps are in the expanded cycle.
Cool, and we got, it's all right, welcome back if that's the case, and welcome Indy for doing, you're going to be doing questions and donations.
I am. Hi, everybody. Glad to see you here on Tuesday.
And of course, the rest of the people in, of course, got Matt running the stream for us. G'day, Matt.
Hello, hello.
Our most favoured Floridian, I guess. And
The guy you blame it on.
that's it, that's the one. That's exactly why you're hired.
Wait, I could just blame stuff on you and not me?
Yep.
Been doing this wrong for forever now.
Okay, let's go over to Massey's. I was looking at these pictures last night, Alex, and I just noticed something that there's that from this manifold over here near the birdcage or near the nose cone jail. One's coming to these. We already know this. One's coming to this these little pumps here. Okay, and that also is the one which is so the bigger pumps come off to this to this test station over here. It's got the line coming off the bigger pumps here. So the new test cage has got this littler pumps nitrogen at it, but also they were saying this as locks, but this line here coming through to here doesn't actually go up. It goes to that first nitrogen tank, I think. Is that still a nitrogen tank? It ends just here. So I'm not sure it's a LOX line. Do you think that's a LOX line?
No, that's a nitrogen line. I think when people were tracing it during show and tell, they confused it with the conduit that's going to the box fan.
Okay, yeah, because it could be this one here, yeah? I'm not sure, but I was just guessing.
No, those upper two are pre-existing.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's nitrogen and that's oxygen. Yes, that's correct. Yep. So what I worked out, I think what's going on, I'm only guessing again. I think here we've got one nitrogen line going to the smaller pumps and one liquid nitrogen line going to the bigger pumps. And my question is, what would be the difference between the two at the now? Because there's never locks here, is there? They don't use locks in this area here at all, do they?
Not to my knowledge. I think it might just be. I haven't traced these lines to. Personally, I know the other pumps, I believe, are operating at a higher pressure. I thought those were primarily for charging the pressure building system for those tanks, but I might be mistaken.
I had traced that other line to the smaller pumps. I do know that.
Right. No, I'm just saying. I thought the smaller pumps normally were feeding into the pressure building system.
You can see it coming across here. It joins this manifold in here. There's a better photo, but yeah, there's this manifold here. There's a supply side manifold coming from this direction here. Goes in through here for the bigger pumps and also continues over. I traced it yesterday over to the smaller pumps here through this line here. There's a better photo, but I did trace it yesterday. But anyway, yeah, so that led me to believe that, so in the script I changed it because it was saying locks on this line and I'm thinking, because it goes to this area here, it doesn't prove to me that it's actually a LOX line. So I just put another cryo line rather than calling it LOX or nitrogen in our script.
Yeah, that NTAP tank is, at least last time I looked, it was nitrogen.
Because that's its supply line now, I believe.
That's the outlet. Yeah, they're doing the same gag where I think they're lining up like 3 different outs or bottoms and sending it as combining it into one outlet flow. But the same thing they're doing with the methane tanks at the launch site now.
I'm not sure where that goes back under. It must go on here. Maybe it actually joins in there, or maybe it goes over here.
Yeah, they're supplying that one. I thought was going straight to the subcoolers.
Okay, yep. I haven't quite worked out that nitrogen system yet.
Yeah, and then that also would send it over to the methane side as well.
Cool. Yep. So yeah, that was a little bit of that discussion. I wasn't convinced completely. So I did a little bit of tracing and found out that might be just 2 different pressures of liquid nitrogen rather than an oxygen and nitrogen.
I'm curious to see what else they add there on the left as well, whether they've still got more stands or nothing sitting on them.
It looks like they're going to put a distribution manifold like they did with the lower one.
That makes sense.
Down here, yeah. And speaking of distribution manifolds, where's that test tank? At the front here, this super crusher. Out the front of the super crusher here, this bit of plumbing, let's get a different angle. We've got images from the 4th, and this was actually hooked up to here on the 4th, with 2 actuators in here. So they're modifying this somewhat from the 4th.
Yeah, I think so. That's just the pressure relief for the different annular spaces they have.
This is what it did look like on the 4th, with the bigger discharge there, mantle, whatever you want to call it. And then here, well, that's not the best photo, sorry, but anyway, you can see what's going on. They've removed that and its actuators, which are probably them over there, perhaps even. I think that's only minor little thing.
It looks like they're making a manifold, if we're being honest. But because as that one's currently set up, those 2, yeah, they're just rotating it.
Yeah, change this. Yeah, change this piece here and taken out. I don't know. There's an actuator. Oh, sorry, that's a bad photo. Maybe I can find a better photo. Sorry, but anyway, yeah. I didn't bring these up because during the show and tell, personally, I mistakenly said that they were adding this. They're adding to this, but they're actually taking away. That's a better photo. Sorry. Oh, that actuator's still there. I mean, it's only a minor thing, so I don't mean to make a mountain out of a molehill. But I just wanted to correct what I said last week, that this was going to be added onto there when actually it's in fact being removed from there. That's all.
It might go back there too.
Yeah, I'd say they're just changing it, in some way, or doing something, modifying something,
Whilst you're on this photo, Stephanie,
Yeah.
I had a bit more of a, it's a tiny little thing, but I had a bit more of a look at those black objects around the bottom of that test stand, the bars. I think some of it is to do with being racks for pipework. I think the things they got on the ends of those bars are probably going to be tie-off points. I think. Because there's not really anything actually, there's no like railing around the inner edge of that platform.
Oh, it's 12 points for the workers. Oh,
Yeah. I mean, they might
Yeah.
just be tie-off points, but I wouldn't be surprised if they get used, obviously, as racks for the pipework as well.
I suppose it's a bit of a fall down there, isn't it? I'm just wondering if you'd set it out to there, you'd almost, yeah, okay, yeah, maybe. Okay, then so I went over the script. I couldn't really see much more to talk about at Massey's, to be honest.
There was some shots Darth and I were looking at earlier that shows some of the best views of how the flap actuators are hooked up on 39.1.
There is a good shot. Let me find it. I'm have to open the script to find it. Give me a sec. There is a shot from over that side, yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened in Chantal also, because when I went to do the media for the episode, I was missing heaps and heaps and heaps of photos that I had to download, so I must apologise. Last week, Chantal, although we had some really good discussions at other sites, there was heaps of photos of Sanchez and Massey's here that I didn't even have on my computer, so there's heaps of photos you just haven't seen off my computer anyway. Sorry about that.
I think we made up with it with conversation. We're good. That was a great show and tell.
Yeah, my longest, probably, yeah. Let me just, hang on, I'm just having trouble here. Give me a sec. Yeah, I was quietly horrified that I hadn't had so many photos missing, but I appreciate your kind words, Todd. Appreciate that a lot. Because, yeah, I was really bashing myself about it. All right, just give me a sec here.
There were a lot of distractions that day.
There were, thank you, yeah, very much so.
That's an understatement.
80-50 win.
A lot of the flow was completely shattered.
Oh, and that's why this show is so great to have later on. If there is something we missed now, we can go over it now. So it all works out good.
And there is something I want to touch base on with 39.1. After you guys have talked about the flap actuators.
So many good photos, thank you. Is this the photo you're talking about, Alex?
That would be the one.
Yes, so for your OCD people, why? Just why? Why?
What do you mean? They're hitting each of the various and it's probably easier for the ways that they're putting their sensors on it.
Why is one backwards?
They probably didn't have the room to have, like, if you would have had the load cells next to each other with all their various.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, good on you. You've made a good excuse for them. Okay, I'll accept it. Thank you.
Think like an installer, not from a spectator.
Yeah, good point. So this load cell, that loads, yeah, okay, they might have been, okay, yeah, but, I mean, and also, I thought these rams were going to be attached to the side of this thing. Maybe that one is.
No,
there was two like lugs on this thing when it was on the ground.
Well, the one on the left. So the one on the left side should be connecting to the lower hinge point underneath the. I can't think how to describe it.
The arm.
Yeah, the analog to what's on the top, right? The little.
Yeah.
Stylized V.
Yeah.
Was it already installed on the fourth too, wasn't it? Yeah, I must have to go back further. Yeah, when I was sitting on the ground, there was a couple of spots for these. I think there might even be one just there underneath that ram there. But anywho, looks like that one's on top. Oh, that one's on top too by the look of it. Actually, they're up on top. So maybe they connect through that pin. Maybe they're, like got a... Because, if you know what I mean.
Actually, no, those two lower pistons, they are both connected to that white jig. If you look carefully on the left, you can see where it's connected to the bit sticking out on the left, the white bit.
Give me a second. So the week before that, let me see. The 28th, I think it was on the ground then. Just so, I don't mean to, anyway, just have a quick look here. Looky. That's not the right photo. That's still not the right photo. Still not the right photo.
Scaffolding. Scaffolding's going to keep getting in the way.
Oh, it is on the ground. Oh, there's one there. See, there on the side there, see?
Yeah.
Now, is that what... Are we seeing that here? That's what I'm not seeing in this photo. There's a better photo. That's my computer's being sluggish. Anyway, that's only minor detail. I was just looking at it when I was doing the script. I'm thinking, where is that? Oh, maybe they are. Oh, hang on. That's what that is. Oh, I'm sorry, Jake. Sorry. Yep, sorry. Oh, God. I thought this was the rod. I see. God, I'm so silly some days. All right, thanks. Yep. Yep.
So what would be their purpose in this testing then?
Well, the same as this. It's testing the actual hinge point, the actual, the actual hinge part of this. This mechanism is not only the hinge for the actual plat, but it's also the hinge for the actuator as well. So the actual hinge that actually hinges the flat part of the load. I think that's what that's testing.
I was going to say, but the only thing that would be moving that whole white jig would be the big piston further back, wouldn't it? So I'm guessing those smaller pistons there are just putting forces on. Is that what's going on there?
The flight load. So no, see this one here, how they got the two rams on this hinge or whatever on this flat mount. So these two rams are putting load on that flat mount, putting flight loads on it. These two are putting those same flight loads on this flat mount, and this is putting load on the actual movement part of the flap, which is also part of that piece as well. So that piece is getting tested in two different ways. It's getting tested by this for actual movement and dynamics, and it's also getting tested, as this one is, for just normal flight loads, for just being an actual hinge point, an actual mounting point, sorry.
Do we know, was there an actual motor in there to spin something, or is it just a hinge point?
I don't think we actually know if there's the full hardware inside of there. Yeah.
I think the motor.
I was wondering if they had the rams that are holding on to the actual rotating component on, but not a massive amount. They could be testing the motor to see, and I'm sure they know how much is being pulled on those grid fins when they're coming out, or have a good idea. And there's 1,300 square inches of pounds of foot. I'm driving, sorry. But, they know how much pressure they're putting, so they can see if the motor still capable of spinning when they have some pressure on it. I don't know. I was just trying to think of things.
Except this is a ship aft flap. And go ahead, Alex.
I didn't say anything. I was just.
Oh yeah, you're right. I was thinking booster. Never mind. I'm not looking, but I'm listening to the talk, so it's like I was thinking that the booster hinge points.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they're making a forward flap jig just like they have the big grid fin test fixture at Sanchez. I think they're doing the same thing for the board flaps, or yes, that one.
Yeah, I think this is going into a test stand, maybe even the nose cone jail, to be honest.
Yeah, that,
Yeah, and I'm actually thinking the reaction frame they're building next to the grid fin
Okay.
test cage has to do with this.
I've got, is there any sign of it, a whole structure for testing the full flaps being set up next to the nose cone jail? Because I don't think you
No,
can
this
integrate something like that actually into the jail itself, could you?
I think they're going to do the same method that they're doing with the grid fins. They're going to have two different. They're going to have a assembly to test the motor, and then they're going to have one to test the actual, just the physical structure of how it interacts with the vehicle frame.
Oh, like you mean like here where they've got an actual actuator tester plus the actual flight loads.
Yeah, and then whatever the interior socket and motor assembly is for this, they're going to probably build a similar thing like they have at Sanchez for the grid fins. That's kind of what I'm thinking that thing is.
Oh, they're actually going to build something like this, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, all those things make sense. Yeah, sure. Cool. Oh, that was a positive sure, not a sarcastic sure, by the way. Okay, I'm glad we bloody worked that thing out, 'cause that had me stumped, I'm sorry. I should have looked back at the last photos like I just did now. Anywho, that's all good. My mind is clear now. Well,
So
clear.
stay on this test tank.
Sure.
So you know how we saw tiles being applied to this test tank the other day?
Yeah.
Well, we've had views of where the big patch was on the tank earlier today, and it looks like there is a load of tiles missing from there now, following the last test of this test tank. And I'm wondering, is that tiles popping off during testing, or have they been removed intentionally after the testing?
That's on the 19th. I don't think we can't see it. Oh, is that the patch we're seeing there?
I can't tell you exactly which part of the test. No, it's
There it
there.
is.
That's it.
Oh, and you've seen tiles missing.
Yeah, there's a lot of big gaps in that patch now.
Hey, aren't those patch pretty much in the same place as they are on 39?
I'm trying to think. They got two. They
Yeah.
got a big. They got a
I
big
think
patch from
so.
the back of each of aft flap, and then they got four big patches on the leeward side of the ship. I think. I think this is maybe too low down to be mimicking what we see on the leeward side of the 39.
It's above the QD. I'll bring that photo up in a sec. There's one patch either side of the center line. I think you're right, Alex. On the center line of the ship, which is through here, on the center line of the QD, I should say. There's a patch either side on ship 39. Yes.
Yeah.
I think this one's just one of those two. I don't think it's got the other one around the corner there. We can't see here.
But that's what I think is they're probably doing is, let's see how we can make them pop off by stressing the skin, and then see if we can do it in space.
Oh, so this is for in orbit type testing.
It's just tile probably for this set, or actually in this point, I assume they're testing how much the flaps are tweaking the tiles. just by the way the skin's going to deform when they're moving.
How much compression they're putting on that entire vessel? Do we know?
Nope.
Nope.
Yeah, we don't know until SpaceX tells us. I think when it came to be 18.1, I think they put like 13,000 tons of force on it. So way above.
It was pressurized, obviously.
Yeah.
Would these just be testing the new RTV, that purple stuff?
It could be. I think they're testing they're trying to simulate how the tiles are failing when they're popping off, because
Yeah, because I mean, they are crushing that thing. You know, they're putting some serious G-force on it. Well, some serious tonnage. I don't know about G-force, but yeah, there you go.
You said popping off.
Yeah, they're squashing it to see how many tiles pop off. That's the whole point of it, pretty much.
or buckling, whichever comes first.
Okay, Aurora, I know you're watching. You're allowed to type and ask your questions in chat. It's okay. But what my daughter's asking is, could they be doing a testing of what is the minimum amount of whether it's glue or pins, or they're doing less and less and less and seeing what stays and what doesn't stay.
I kind of expect them to go both directions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Nice question.
All right.
You're allowed to type your
Aurora.
messages.
Aurora, just put question mark Q right before your question, and we'll read it online for sure. And the everyone will answer. The panel will.
I think it's easier going Dad.
Problem is, Dad is driving.
Exclamation
I
point.
just got home, so we are good now.
What did I say? I meant exclamation point.
Yeah, you said question mark.
Sorry.
I always thought the white pipes were for ventilation as well, but who knows?
They are. They're for venting the tanks or the underside when there's to keep the temperature down. And hey, look, they tore one.
Plus, we want to hear from Aurora. Just a side note.
I agree.
Good question, by the way. Keep them up. Yep. This show runs on questions, so the more the merrier. It's always good. All right. Oh, cool. Well, thanks for bringing that up, Alex, because, yeah, that is a very interesting photo, to be sure. Oh, a bit of Irish coming on me there. To be sure.
To be sure. I thought this was a deep dive there.
I'm not Irish, by the way.
In case we didn't know that by now.
Well, in case you didn't know that now, this is how I talk to you lot. You don't want to know how I normally talk. My God.
All right, Indy, you sound like you had a question going on there.
No, I was just giggling because Mauricio did question mark Q test.
And it didn't work yet.
It did because I just read it.
Oh, exclamation mark.
Did I say question mark again? Gosh darn it.
You
Jeez Louise.
did.
I know, right? I'll stop talking now.
Bang.
Sorry. What'd you say, Alex?
Just use bang. Then exclamation
That-
point bang from back in the pre-press days.
Oh, so what happens? Because Kelly's talkback on a computer calls it bang too.
Yeah.
And that's a bunch of because that's a bunch of her talkback, which is NVDA, is by a bunch of blind tech, coders, and that might be something they put in deliberately as an old school reference, even perhaps, Alex.
It's still the proper. I mean, like I won't go that nerdy. The shebang line for like Unix and Linux, when they read that text, those bits, that's what they know how to hand it off, so to the right interpreter or the linker. But yeah.
Oh, cool. Oh, so yeah, so it says bang, yeah, anyway, so for one reason or another. Yeah, a bunch of blind coders got together and wrote their own screen reader software because the alternative was very expensive. and it's free. It's a free open source NVDA. If you want to go and support it, it's well worth supporting. This was a surprise to me to think it wasn't another Lux pond, but actually a methane pond. I was actually surprised by that, but there we have it. I just enjoyed that conversation. And I don't think it came up. Did we talk about it being methane in the show and tell? You definitely did on the live streams.
Yes,
Yeah, we did talk
talk
about
about it.
Yeah, we definitely talked about a lot in the show and tell.
Cool.
We got on about helium as well, I think.
Just making sure. In one of the photos, this line they're playing with now is actually over there. It's actually putting it in place in this photo. Cool. And I wonder, do they just not have enough stairs yet to go all the way out to the top, or are they not going to go all the way to the top with these stairs? Or why are they building this?
They need access to the platform while they're installing the stairs.
Okay, yeah. In the meanwhile, yep, cool.
They don't want to keep them well motivated and, hey, finish your stairwell.
And of course, they had to move it from that side anyway to get the actual stairwell in place, obviously. I haven't seen any more parts for that stairwell either. They might be waiting for parts to be manufactured for them. In fact, this whole area, where's a good photo? That whole area is actually particularly clean right now. All this area over here, sorry. Which would have been, I guess, tidied up for the static fire at least. All in here, this is looking really tidy, this whole area.
I'm sure it won't be long until that gets covered with all sorts of other hardware again.
Well, yeah, as they've been, yeah, maybe. Now, also notice over here, they've been removing some stuff from over here. They've been removing hoses and removing some actual plumbing from over here. Is that the end of COPV testing, or just winding down a bit?
It might be. I mean, if they bought the manufacturer, they would have probably moved this testing regime inside.
Well, for what it's worth, I haven't seen any COPVs move into this site in quite a few weeks now. So I guess they are winding down testing at this site.
So maybe they just had to test a few, or quite a few anyway, COPVs that were, the ones that were manufactured prior to them taking that factory over, perhaps. Just to make sure, to be sure, once again, to be sure. Okay, cool. So we're getting more questions for masses.
We have questions and donations. We actually have more donations than questions. We want to thank Martin for their 18-pound donation. Thank you, Martin. And he did that over 3 different donations. Mauricio was gifted 10 memberships that were given to him from YouTube. So congrats to all the recipients and welcome to the team. And Noti just donated 10 Australian dollars saying, thanks for the great show. It's going off with a bang. So thank you all for your very kind donations and for the gifted memberships, Mauricio. We appreciate it. No questions yet on anything.
And if you got one of those memberships, link up your Discord to your YouTube account and come join us in chat.
Awesome. That's really good support. Thank you, everybody. A few Aussie dollars going there as well. The Aussie dollars go well. Although you don't get quite as many US dollars for Aussie dollars, do you? Anyway, they're better dollars. They're the best dollars. The Aussie dollars, they're the best. Okay, Massies, let's go to Sanchez then.
Oh, there was another tiny thing.
Sure.
Earlier today, the clamp arms that were removed from the Super Crusher, they were seen starting to arrive at McGregor.
Oh, cool.
For whatever reason.
I suppose that doesn't rule out them coming back here, does it, really, either, to be honest?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, there's things get moved back and forth between Starbase and McGregor all the time. I mean, the chopstick simulator is a good example of that. I mean, that's probably where they've gone now, back to McGregor.
Oh, so what were you talking? I thought you were talking about chopsticks. So what were you talking about?
The Super Crusher, the clamp arms that the B18.1 used to sit on.
Ah, sorry.
Everything
You
ends
know,
up
the
at
one that used to make the
McGregor.
tiles pop off.
Oh,
So,
that's
say that again, Alex.
Everything ends up at McGregor.
since this photo, these have moved.
Yeah, yeah.
Gotcha.
Well, unless there's another lot we don't know about somewhere else in Starbase.
Or at McGregor, like another Super Crusher being built at McGregor, for instance. All right, cool. Thanks, Jake. Awesome. So we kind of covered Sanchez a bit there already. Those few big items.
We haven't covered everything yet. There's about a million questions I can think about that photo. But anyway, moving on.
Like what? Give us what's on your mind there, man. Let me hear it.
I mean, you know, you said there were no stairway. Where's the stairs? It's next to it. It's there. It's all that scaffolding.
Oh yeah, I meant this. I haven't seen any more of these, the parts with this staircase around. There's a good shot of that as well.
Point your mouse to the staircase. Come on.
It's there. So I haven't seen any more of them around just yet. So yeah, maybe they're waiting for parts. That's why they need to build that scaffold as well. So this was the same last week. We saw this from the big angle last week. These stands don't seem to be. I think maybe the last time I saw these, I don't think they were welded. This one, but it could have been welded last week. We didn't have really good top downs last week, but it seems welded now. In fact, one of the welds even looks a bit fresh. So with that, those big frames, we're seeing more parts, aren't we? To build even more of them.
There's the same parts that have been there for months.
Yeah.
Those red actuators you just had your cursor over. If I'm thinking of the same one, those may be what they moved over to pad 2 yesterday. It looks like they might be doing a bit of swapping around the hardware over that pad.
Yeah, from probably up in the tower.
Bit of fine tuning going on. There's lots of these T pieces around, redundancy pieces.
One
Okay.
out of twos. 1 out of 2s. One of the two valves have to operate for them to open.
Yep. Okay, so yeah, 4 more of them arrived. The big pipe arrived. There was not much changed over here. They have been working on it, but they seem to just be playing with maybe old wiring for now, getting everything ready to. They haven't started actually deconstructing in here yet. They've moved, like they've been moving transformers around to get them out of the way. So we may see another few lines of these still happen. I'm thinking there's going to be another, maybe even 3 of these, 2, 3 in here yet to come. Which dramatically increases their battery capacity. There's not much mystery here or here. That's all pretty well straightforward. We pretty well covered that in our show and tell. I'm good. I'm glad to hear some positive responses about last show and tell. I was a bit worried we didn't do a good job. All right, so Alex, yeah, we did talk about this, and we didn't get to see it last week because I hadn't downloaded everything. This is one thing I came across that we hadn't actually said something about. We could see in a blur images, but couldn't actually see exactly what was going on here. But we do now download all the images. We have some good images of it.
It still kind of looks like the plate on the bottom of the stands a bit, but maybe not.
I don't know. I'm looking at that and I'm wondering if that's going to be beams spanning between both cradles, maybe.
Not sure even what these are exactly. They just look like plates for now. If there's holes here. I had a bit of a look. I just couldn't quite work it out. These tabs. I think these are the ones I think you saw in the last week's show. I think you saw these getting. I think you saw 2 or 3 pixels of these last week.
Yeah, those all look like bolt downs, because you can see in the shadow, on the ground, yeah, where the light's passing through.
Okay. Yep. You and your shadows. Very good.
If you put
Oh,
a
that's
nine,
that. That's that one.
Uh-huh.
I was gonna say, if you
Oh,
put
that's that one. Sorry, John.
9 meter wide circle in the middle of that U structure, where do those things sticking out actually line up with?
Those almost look much more like a transport stand where the support legs are.
Jeopardy music?
I don't have a circle to be able to do that on this particular app. Sorry. But there's the diameter anyway.
Okay. Because I'm still expecting this thing to go upright with the ends of it facing straight up on top of the turntable things. So if you look at the turntables, you can see there's little clevises on them, which I think will line up with the clevises at the bottoms of these U-shapes.
That's roughly what's going on.
That's certainly an unusual circle, but yeah, it works.
It's got to have some sort of bumpers to hold, mounts that the ship sits in, right? This is
That's what I'm
just
wondering.
structure.
That's what I'm wondering about those bits sticking out the sides like that, if they're for sort of like bumpers structures. Like the two large that are near the bottom of this, yeah.
Oh, they're bumper. Oh, these are bumpers.
No, the other two the ones sticking right out the sides, yeah. And there.
I remember the bumpers on the 4-point lifter, that sort of thing.
Not quite like that. More of a curved structure that'll sit down the bottom there.
Except I don't think these pieces are going to travel to and from here in Florida, since they're building their own set in Florida of these.
Wait, when did we find out that?
They've been visible for a couple of weeks in the satellites images that dudes post.
Okay, that's interesting.
I always forget where they are in this image. I think they're above the old factory. Yeah, by the bakery.
Yeah, they're above to the left there. Yeah, that area. They're hard to spot, but they're there.
How
Oh,
many Teslas?
This week we don't get that. So I might not have the most updated. This one's from March 5th. There might be one in between I missed. There must be one in between I've missed. I won't go searching for it now.
Yeah, there's one of them. They're is pretty spot on what they are.
How many battery packs on wheels? What were they about?
Yeah, they've been there for ages, those ones, yeah. What do you call battery packs on wheels, yeah. Yeah, SpaceX did a big purchase from Tesla there a while ago, yeah. I'll have to, maybe someone can post that in Patreon. I haven't got that latest image, sorry. Showing rabbit holes. Yeah, we should change this to showing rabbit holes, someone's been saying. That's funny. Yeah, it appears, Alex, doesn't it, that they're going to put them on the barge here with these devices, and then these devices stay this end, and then they're going to crane them onto the barge, take them over there, crane them up, and put them on the cradles over there, yeah?
That's my thought process, but
Yeah, I think BJ agrees with that one as well. I hear him comment on that in the chats as well. If I say his name a couple of times, you might even arrive. Oh, hang on, we're not at the build site yet. He usually pops in, we're at the build site. In his perfect
You guys
timing.
saw the post. You saw the post about the barge being transferred to Starship, right?
Yeah, with just read the instructions being um, now assigned for Starship transport duties, I'm thinking the crane on off method is going to be how they do it.
Not sure why that moved from over there. I wasn't in the way of anything, so unless they need that for parking, the booster stand or something.
They're getting ready to build another factory fixture. If you look to the left.
Oh, with all this stuff?
Yep.
Oh, cool. Yep.
And they
I thought you
trashed
were
a
going
bunch
to
of the stuff that was over here.
Oh, this stuff over here.
Yeah, they trashed that. That's all in the dumpster. A lot of it's in the dumpster, I should say. The blowers and that sort of stuff. Down below was left of 18. A little bit. It's not visible in this image. But those dumpsters that are over here by the white tanks, yeah, you can see the gold of the blowers.
All that time speculating what they were, and really they were just destined to the dumpster. Oh, that's beautiful. Oh, cool. Into the trash heap it goes. Cool. Okay, well, that's interesting.
Gwen Effer has a question.
Sure.
She's wondering, with SpaceX saying an F9 drone ship will now transport SS to KSC, will they use one breakover for both ship and booster, then put them on shipping frames, or have two breakovers?
I think it'll be interchangeable.
We don't see like two sets yet, do we? We really only see one set. I'm including that A-frame, these things, and this is a set.
They're only going to be transporting one vehicle at a time to start with. So they only need one currently at each location.
Oh, thanks, Jake. Yeah, Jake's asked the question in Patreon. Yeah, I haven't. Maybe it was in one of the other flyovers, Jake, that they saw them at Roberts Road. Because I don't know that I've. Anyway, we'll see. We'll see what someone comes up with.
All for One is
Okay.
asking.
Go.
He has another question. All for One is asking, could the parts identified as possible breakover pieces in fact be destined for the barge?
I wouldn't have thought so.
So things like this, sort of like that Render Kiwi made, that they really scream Oh, thanks, event dudes. They really scream, you know, lengthy transport apparatus. We see that a lot on transporting on, very long semi trucks and that. These sort of turntables. This looks very reminiscent of quite a few different transport setups.
You can actually look it up. NASA uses the same type of transports for the core stages.
Is that what we're seeing here? Hey, is that part of the table? Water table? Oh, yeah, the top deck?
Yep.
Sure is.
Sweet.
Yeah, there's that one, and then there's at least another two under the tent where the OLM was done.
Oh, cool. So that'd be for 37, yeah?
Did
Ah, here.
Probably.
Yeah.
That piece.
Yep.
Gotcha.
And we already saw that same type of A-frame there as well at Hager M.
See, my thinking
Cool.
is this is for when they go to start moving two vehicles at a time, and when they go to send just read the instructions to Starbase for the first time, they'll probably send that transport hardware with it.
Can I ask where that place is?
That was Roberts Road that you saw just now, Martin.
1 sec.
Okay.
Yeah, Roberts Road, where the big other Gigabay is, and this is where they build the OLM and the tower segment. This is an old photo, there's still tower segments here. They build the tower segments. They built the OLM for 39A right here, and now it's getting built for some of the. There's the carriage for 37, and the chopstick arms, and quite a few different bits and pieces here for 37, and of course Gigabay over yonder, and there's that machine. So we've got here as well for making panels. Cool. So have they got the winch machine here as well? I hadn't noticed. They probably do somewhere in here.
I'm pretty sure I've seen it in some of the photos. It is there.
I mean,
Maybe that's.
it's BZI doing it, and so I'm sure they're using their.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They'd obviously have more than one. And this is Falcon 9. Falcon 9 shed. Is that the actual transporter? That's not the actual booster. No, it's a transporter. Yeah, that's Roberts Road, Florida. And this building is what? Oh, that was a Star Factory, wasn't it? But it's not now.
That's Hangar X2 that is used for Falcon payload integration, along with the GPS tile bakery for Starship and Dragon.
Yeah. The latest satellite are starting to look like they're potentially doing an addition where the.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there you can see the footings, which strangely look very Star Factory-esque.
Yeah, so for anyone wondering why they moved all the tower sections from
on the left there, yeah. All that.
Ah, sweet. So now, okay. So they've taken down half the tent. I see. And okay, cool.
Probably all
No,
gone.
it's still the same size tent. It's just missing the covering on part of it. That's all. Just the two halves have come together. Because don't forget, they move back and forth on rails.
Yep. Yeah, you understood the rails, yeah, but so they've taken the rails out of here, and plus this was actually where the. They were right over here. They weren't, but they the actual tower segments.
Don't
No.
think they were quite that far over, were they?
No, they were down.
They're down where those footings are being dug.
Oh, I see. Of course, yeah. Sorry, I was a whole block out. Yeah, of course. Yep. Sorry. Thank you.
I guess with with Falcon operations starting to spool down from this year, I wonder if this new building is going to be pretty much just a Starship thing or not.
I personally think they're going to just do a quick annex so they can start building, since I don't think any of the approvals have gone through yet for their Star Factory.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Is this going to be the interim place that they do start manufacturing Starship parts?
You got to start in a tent.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's so true.
I mean, Hager X2 is the original Star Factory, so go figure.
Yeah, this one
Well, remember,
here.
remember the problems they had with QC with the tents. They don't want to repeat that issue, right?
Are you sure? You get to learn a lot. I mean, there's a certain value of failure.
I mean, but Texas, the Texas guys will come help them out, right?
Yeah, I guess.
I guess with Hangar X2, that probably will go back to being used for Starship in the future.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's
was
got
thinking
the.
that too.
Sorry.
I was just thinking, Jake, that with what we've been seeing transpire with the new Starship progress in Florida, that
Yeah,
Hager M might go back to Falcon operations.
possibly. Yeah, possibly.
But the factory there could be used for ring development or ring fabrication, right?
It's
That
yeah.
nose cone section should be tall enough for nose cones to roll out.
Straight into Gigabyte or thereabouts. So down here, around here, and zip, in they go. Like they go zip. Don't forget zip, zip. Okay. Very good.
I mean, if you go off of what's happening with just reading instructions now, you're going from Falcon operations to Starship operations. I mean, there's a lot of other existing Falcon infrastructure that could be transitioned over to Starship as well eventually.
Yeah, that is the latest one event dudes posted, I think. That one. In Patreon Lounge. Anywho, moving on. Very good. So that's, Florida. A quick look at Florida. It's good to quick look at Florida. 37's coming on nicely. So the tower base is, I guess, all the steel's up, excluding the annex. I'm not sure if it's had its concrete poured yet or not.
And what am I seeing along the edge of that pile cap there? That's nothing to do with
The trench.
Oh, that's just exposing all the piles, is it? Or is there something else going on there?
Yeah, they may or may not do sheet piles here.
How
Oh,
many of them are
interesting.
watching in widescreen?
I'm not sure. What's that?
That's the stacking station.
Oh, this too. So this is the trench. That's that. Okay, yep, of course, yep. Oh, it is too. So 2, 4, 6, 8, and the other ones. Cool. And we've got the pump farm and the tanks. They've buried the other. Or are they here?
They're there.
Tanks, and pump farm and water farm. Still going nicely ahead.
And it does look to be some groundwork at the bottom corner there going on.
Yeah. So maybe the tower goes here. We're not sure whether the tower goes there or there. Quite sure. Somewhere here.
I've got a feeling it's going to go up in that top right corner. I mean, heavy speculation basing off where they look to be putting the tank farm and a deluge farm. I think it's going to go up in that top right corner.
Yep. They're working on the tower sections, getting them ready to go. They should see them start getting lifted soonish rather than laterish. Do they need the concrete, don't they, before they start stacking in this space? I can't remember at Starbase. Pretty sure they had the concrete in first, yeah.
They poured the columns first, I believe, but the sides they did after.
Cool, thank you, Lawrence. 37, I suppose a quick look at 39. Wasn't really on the script, but anyway.
Yeah, that's a exciting thing we see in this photo. This is the same one I'm thinking of. You can see what they're actually testing the tank from.
Yes.
Yep.
I did look at this
And-
last week, at least the nitrogen system anyway.
And from what we've seen of the various venting visible above the Falcon launch pad ramp, it does look like it's been tested both sides of the farm.
Yeah, it all looks pretty hooked up, this part of the farm. Actually, still missing a couple of pumps, whatever, over here, but this all's looking very finalised. This here, they've got all their exhausts and their skids in place. Oh, there's some frosty lines there. Oh, maybe they were running the pumps, actually.
Yeah. I mean, I can imagine they've pretty much at a point now where they can test both sides properly and just keep adding on, all the other extra storage tanks and pumps at a later date. Sort of like, kind of like we saw with Starbase Pad 1 at first, the tank farm there. Where they were running at limited capacity at first.
Yeah, don't forget they started that testing in June of last year at Starbase.
DMHMT is wondering where's the ASU site at 37?
Well, the plans we saw a while back where it was supposed to be on the other side of this ramp, of the Falcon launch pad ramp, but then that area seemed to have turned into a great big retention pond.
Yeah, but 37, it's at the end. The handle is a pistol. I can't unsee that.
Yeah. I guess. I wonder if they'll do something similar with this launch site then. Put it just outside there. Because I can't really see where they can fit it on the Starship pad side of the launch site.
I believe it's going to be on the other side. Where
it should be over there. Yeah, it should be to the right of the Falcon Heavy pad.
Yeah, in there, is that what you're saying?
No, it was lower down is where it was originally due to go. Yeah, that is where it was supposed to go at one point in time, and then, well, I guess that plan changed.
I mean, there's also a great big LOX tank between the Falcon pad and Starship pad too at one time. So this has been a
That's a good point.
Over here, yeah. Yeah, they definitely went a different direction to what they started here at 39 for Starship, that's for sure.
Because isn't there a liquefaction plant planned for this launch site as well, or at least was at one point in time?
There is.
Yeah, we're pretty sure it's going to be in the lower left. Lower left. Well, yeah, down there. Because the methane is just to the left.
So they've got to bring a gas line in here, yeah?
There's already a massive gas line running through here. I think like an 18-inch.
What? But isn't using methane quite a new thing? How come the gas line's through here?
Everybody knew methane was a good propellant back in the 60s, and that's when all of these sites were developed. It's just that NASA decided to get hung up and in love with shuttle technology for the last 60 years or 50 years.
Really? Oh, wow. Is that okay? I did not know that fact. Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the shuttle was originally penned at the end of 60s and 70s, so at least
So
50
companies
years.
like SpaceX. Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, no, and if everybody, pretty much all chemical propellants, all that research was done in this by the mid 60s.
So SpaceX has taken that sort of stuff and thought, well, hang on, why the hell are we using hydrogen when methane is proven to be a really good thing?
Hydrogen is the only reason hydrogen works is for second stages. It's piss poor for its volume ratios that you need for energy is bad.
Yeah.
And methane is sort of halfway between it and kerosene. So and the advantage with methane is it's very clean burning, so you're not having coking. So it's a much better for, that's one of the reasons it's very good for reusability. There's a few other reasons that it's good, but that's the primary reason.
It's very energy dense with its long chain carbons, isn't it? Like compared to hydrogen.
Well, it's hydrogen. I wouldn't compare organic molecule and hydrogen.
True.
But,
True.
Yeah, the Starship's going to be fart powered. There you go.
Very good. Yes, Martin. Starship is fart powered. Yes.
There's
very good. Go ahead.
There's something else I noticed with this site recently. I'm just curious if anyone else has a bit more an idea of what's going on. Zoom into the side of the ramp. Go to the dairy farm, then go up and slightly right to that small opening. Am I seeing things, or does it look like they're going to tap into that line there for the Starship pad?
Probably. That's one of the main ducts to go from east-west under the pad.
Yeah, that ramp has several tunnels under it for pipelines and other commodities. And that's why we suspect that the ASU is going to be in the upper left in this image, or upper right, excuse me.
Oh, for cryogenics coming through. Sorry.
That way they could just because the whole right side is considered the LOX side of 39A.
Well, LOX on RP1 as well now.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't that the same RP1 from Apollo?
No, those two tanks there, they're quite new. The RP1 used to be over the other side of the launch site, and if you zoom out at the start, basically to the left, up a tiny little bit, around by there is, yeah, that's where it used to be. Well, the small tanks used to be there.
So Lawrence is saying that's probably for the cryogenics coming through from the ASU come through to the tank farm, yeah.
That would be my suspicion of how they're going to do the ASU.
I could see that happening. I think that would make sense.
So there's limited places here to come through, I guess, unless you go all the way around. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, it does look very much like that, Jake. They're gonna out here. They're digging something through. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be that large of a line since it's just the slow fill for the tanks.
True. Yeah.
James Wilson was wondering, do you think we'll see HLS Starship testing landing legs?
But where exactly? What, at the Marcy site or what?
I think just in general.
Yeah, we'll see them when they roll out HLS finally. I don't think we're going to see them before the first demo lander rolls out.
Well, I mean, supposedly they've already been testing at least one leg of McGregor's. Well, maybe at McGregor. We haven't actually seen the footage yet, though.
Okay, thanks for the questions. I haven't taken the static bias stand up to SPMTs yet. I don't think that means anything in particular. I'm worried maybe some people might think it might mean that they're going to read static bias 39, but I don't think so.
I get this feeling 40 might just roll out on it like they did with 39 for its cryo.
I mean, I'd be surprised if that was the case, considering how close to being ready the new thrust sim stand is. Although it still needs its feet.
Yeah, my reasoning is since they know 39 and 40 are both going to be expended, as long as they can get it to SECO, that's all they're worried about, really.
I mean, maybe I'd like to think they wouldn't skip it. That sort of testing two ships in a row like that. I mean, in the future they probably will skip thrust ram testing altogether. Yeah, I'm not sure they skip it twice in a row at this point in time.
Yeah, because I was seeing 41. Since 41's going to be the first possible catch item.
Yeah, but should that but would that really have any effect on whether the ship's going to be thrust fin tested or not? I don't quite understand that.
Yeah, because that's if they're going to start reusing from 41 on.
Okay, well, I mean, they did it with 39, didn't they? Didn't use the thrust sim
They
testing.
did, but I think they're just trying to save as much time as they can. I mean, it's become, well, kind of clear, I guess, that they seem to be fast tracking things with. Actually, no, they maybe fast tracking things slightly with 39, maybe.
What could possibly go wrong?
It'll be fine.
Yeah, now that they've started stacking 41, things should start progressing.
Yeah. Okay, so I thought 39 and 40 had to do re-entry and do a precision landing before they'll catch 41.
Yeah, they do, but I'm just saying, no matter what, they're not going to be reused.
Gotcha.
No matter what happens.
Yep, okay, cool. Yep.
That's not fair. It's going to be reused as a reef for the fish.
Well, okay, true. Scuba diving, prime spot in the future.
Okay. Well, that's very interesting, all that. Okay, on to the La Build site. So the start of the third level, it's probably covered a lot of this. I think there's much to cover really extra in the Xpanded today. We've got some other things to go over, so we'll keep.
Before we get too far, I'd like to thank Martin for his £2 donation and are excited for their $25 donation. And they said more for the Fuel Kitty. Thank you both so much.
Back. Was there a question? Sorry, I just had to duck out for a sec.
No, I was just thanking people for their donations. You are good.
Is that for the crane operator?
Yeah, you'll see it on the other cranes as well. Well, definitely the one to the right.
Oh, okay. So you can use the elevator. No, there isn't. Oh, you can use the elevator to get up to that level at least.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I was only today years old when I noticed them.
Yeah, there's been a little bit more change with this base in the last few days. They look to have started putting the actual rail system for the door on the front right of the bay.
Yeah, I heard that
I
somewhere.
think,
Yep.
although I don't think we're going to see any actual doors until like near the end of the construction of this bay. Well, the end of the construction of the structure, because putting doors in now just means they're just going to get in the way of various construction machinery and equipment going in and out the building.
Actually, I noticed on X today they've gone above the door here on the
Yeah.
the paneling too, the cladding. Sorry. I didn't notice this before either. They've got concrete over on this level here over the doorways here too. Didn't write about that in this week's script. I'll have to add a little bit there. We'll see how I go. Getting lots of rebar ready for the next level in here. So they're not far behind the other crew, the concreters. They're going up as the other crew are going up in height, in levels.
Yeah, they seem to have been starting to hit a pretty nice stride with this now.
So there is a bit missing on these, so they overlap a bit, I guess.
Yeah.
I noticed that in Sanchez, and I was wondering whether, because the writer wrote that they were almost complete, and I was sort of thinking maybe there's actually an overlap of some sort, because they've all got it. In here, you can see they've all got it here. But I couldn't see it on the trailer ones, but they might just be hidden. I mean, this panel might be something special or like a corner or something, but I couldn't quite see it on these ones, so I guess they do have that panel missing. It's not a full panel either. It's not a full width. It's like a little half width or something. Cool.
Half on one side, half on the other. So
yeah, true. Yeah. You just read my brain box, and you did. Get out of my head. Get out. No trespassing.
it's scary in here, and I'm trapped.
Oh, you have that voice too, do you? I thought it was just me. Okay, methane tank is underway. I think the next one, is it the next one through for the booster or the ship? Is it the common dome? No, the forward dome's the next one for the ship, isn't it?
Yeah. And yeah, I'm not really sure I'd say the methane tank is really starting for B20 yet. It's still just the the F2 section that sits under the forward dome section sitting in Mega B1. I haven't seen the forward dome section come back out just yet.
Start from the top. So forward, including the truss, has to come out, yeah?
Yep.
Didn't it make there was something made an appearance in the Mega Bay 2, didn't it? That's right. They did some like fit checking or something with 39
Yeah,
on.
we never actually saw the ship sitting on that section, but it did seem likely that was what was going on in there.
Sweet. Yeah. Yeah, but so getting ready for Flight 12 or getting ready for more static testing for Booster 19? Well, we might leave that for now. We might cover that for later on with Alex later on at the build site, at the launch site. We might just leave that for a second. Or
I was going to say, how about being prepared for both?
yeah.
Overrated.
Joel is wondering, are they running power and water in the Gigabay as they build it?
Not that we've seen. We can. I can give you a bit of a look at that over here on this side. We can see over here. There's the services provision for the services to come through here, and we haven't seen anything. So this corner here is where the services pretty well enter the building. Go ahead.
What are those? Go back. There's on the ground, just in the shadows. On the third level, second level. That's right down there on the ground, on the one down one level.
Oh, yeah.
The chases.
Maybe
Most
the
of
tube
this,
side.
yeah, because most of this we won't see because most of that finishings are waiting for it to be somewhat weathered in.
Yeah, that
Oh,
could
there's
be.
more on the there's more on the level above. Look, yeah.
Well spotted. Yeah, they look about the right length too, don't they? Look about exactly that long.
Or you'd combine them, but yeah.
Of course. So I would imagine they would use a cable trap there, but yeah, some kind of full-on like tubing.
I mean, it's your high voltage bus. I'd probably want to keep that enclosed in some sort of.
Would they run a high voltage bus up here? Would they need? I suppose they may, but transformers up higher.
I mean, what's cheaper? I'd keep the voltage as high as I can, and it's only at near the use points that I'd step it down.
So 400 odd feet. Yeah, maybe at the very top. Yeah.
It's more of for the copper costs.
Yeah, because there's nothing high. I don't think there's any high voltage motors needed up here. But true, I know what you're saying. It's always easier to transmit in high voltage for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean the bridge cranes, but and all the welding stations are pretty high voltage as well.
Now, they'd be standard three-phase, wouldn't they?
I think we've seen nameplates on some of those robots. I think they're not standard.
Okay, cool. Yep, fair enough. Do you even have a standard? Sorry. You seem to have all sorts of funny voltages over there. Cool. So that answers that question. They haven't quite started yet, but they kind of look like they're getting ready to start, actually, which is cool. Not the poop chute, is it? Okay, enough of that talk. Thanks for that question. Over to here, I had a quick look through this little ring yard. Didn't see anything jumping out at me. Much of a muchness. There's some things there, but they're just things for the thing that's in that thing in there. Everything's sort of going ahead as you'd expect down here. The front's looking nice. Starting to get nicely finished off down here. Gee, the front's going to look really nice real soon. Any glass panels yet? No, not quite yet. When we were doing those glass panels, before the concrete's laid, we'd lay a stainless steel. It's like a U section, and little starter bars underneath, sit it actually in the concrete before the concrete is poured, actually attached to the rebars. The rebar stuff being stainless steel, it wouldn't let rust go through. And then we can just grout. You can just grout the glass panels in with special grout from Sikaflex, I think the company, and then just freestand panels of glass for pool fencing. Looks beautiful. Looks expensive. Looks beautiful. Looks like the roof, I think the roof was already finished. I'm wondering, is that office people already parking there? They don't really look like construction cars, some of these.
Yeah, I'd say that's yeah, possible.
I doubt any of the units are actually finished up yet, that's for sure. But yeah, perhaps some office people starting to use the parking. So what was their alternative before? Getting their, I talked about steps yesterday, I tell you. Getting their steps in, walking all the way from there across to the office. Call
Yeah,
for the walk.
whilst we oh, it looks like they did put on the last bit of cladding on that Gigabay end of Star Factory earlier today. I think they've still got to add all the trim around the edges and in between panels, but yeah, that looks to be all pretty much fully covered now.
Okay, so it looks like the taper is going to happen over here like we see in the renders then, eh?
Yeah.
Cool. So maybe we might see this wall go in. Although they may still be using this for access, I guess, for now, for construction.
Yeah, I think they're going to cover that area sooner rather than later, just simply due to the fact that they've left. Yeah, they haven't put any cladding on, temporary cladding on that side of the Gigabay. Kind of like what we see with the Roberts Road Gigabay, where they have covered that side.
Oh, okay, yep.
Because obviously at Roberts Road, you can tell they're expecting it to be quite a while longer until they've got a Star Factory to actually connect that Gigabay to.
Yeah, well, it sounds like what Alex is saying, they haven't even got their approvals or whatever yet.
Yeah, I don't know, it's kind of concerning that there's still not really any sign of that Star Factory starting anytime soon. I mean, I would like to have seen at least the groundwork starting for that building by now, but yeah, there's still nothing.
Oh, 1 sec.
And while we wait for Steph, we want to thank Turtle Sanctuary for their $25 gift, $25 donation. Thank you so much, Turtle.
Thank you.
Nice. What's that? 6 out of 15. Wow, these, yeah, good on you. Oh, isn't my mic open? Oh, was that my loud voice? Okay. Let me see. So not much has gone on down here. I thought they might have put some concrete in, but they hadn't. It was just an illusion. Something though, these two areas here look suspiciously like something's going to be in here, like gardens maybe, or the building or something. Looks like, that's going to curve around here and maybe, not sure. Looks like you know what I mean? That looks like something. I'm not sure what.
I still think if there's going to be vehicles over here, Sasha, I think it'll be on either end of this. And yeah, I mean, and in those areas, you could have like Raptor engines or the booster manifold that we see over in Sanchez. It could be sitting in, because yeah, we think this is Starship Park, and they did say monuments, which obviously doesn't, in my opinion, doesn't just mean Starship vehicles. You can have a lot of other stuff sitting in here as well. I mean, heck, you could even have parts of like the original Pad 1 in here if they've saved any of that.
True. Looks like we might get a few more houses go ahead through here in the near future. Well, this one here they've just grassed over, so I guess they still don't own that one. Whichever ones they still, it looks like they don't own that one and that one still. Maybe they don't own that. Hang on, where are we? Maybe they don't own that block either yet. I'm guessing there's still a couple of private ownerships in through here. I'm not sure about that now these days. I'm not sure how much privately owned stuff's here now.
I think if there is any, there's probably like one or two now, I think. Although, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it's all just SpaceX employees, though, to be honest.
It'd be well worth investment holding on to it. If you owned a property in there, it'd be well worth holding on to, I reckon. Oh, it goes that way, okay. Just keep going that way. Oh, that's a Starship, actually. Actually, Matt pointed that out there a couple of weeks ago, actually, yep.
Yeah, it's interesting the way that wraps around the hovercraft landing spot like that.
Yeah. I've seen that's interesting physics where you like pump to create kinetic energy. You use something to push it like almost like it's sort of like a swing, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? Like you can
Yeah,
sort of
I know.
generate.
I know what you're talking about. I remember watching a video a while back. Someone doing an experiment where there was like a marble on two different surfaces, and one of them was just a straight slope going down, and then the other one was like a bumpy slope going down, and the marble got down to the end of the bumpy slope before the straight slope. I think that's pretty much what you're describing here as well.
Now, what I'm describing here is if you're on your push bike riding through here, as you go, the skateboarders do it on the skate bowls too. You can like straighten your legs or squat down on your bike, and you can pump a bit like what they do too on those new hydrofoil like surfboards. You can jump your weight up and down.
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
those curves, you can actually create kinetic energy. A bit like what I'm also saying, like on a swing, you can move your feet backwards and forwards. You can create kinetic energy by moving your body, basically. But it's different. This will be different. It'll be a different mechanism. But yeah, it's just interesting how that works.
We also want to thank Turtle Sanctuary again for another $10 donation. And they said Monument Park should just be a pile of stainless and blowtorch. Help yourself. That would be hilarious if it was like that. Got a couple of questions for you. Sorry, Jay. I agree. It would be quite something. We also just got another $4.99 donation from DMHMT, and she says, as Yazada says, come for Starship, leave for learning about cranes, conduits, and Scotch yoke actuators, and skateboards. I think that's meant to be skateboards. Got a couple of questions for you. Nate's wondering.
Skate bowls. And she meant skate bowls, like a bowl. Go on.
Like a bowl? Like for them, like a skate rink or whatever they call them. Skate park.
Yeah. Where they've got the actual, like a bowl, yeah.
Gotcha. Nate's wondering, when do you think we will see HLS hardware move to Mega Bay for Artemis 3? And that he loves the stream.
Well, Artemis 3 doesn't need HLS. Artemis 4 does.
It does. No, Artemis 3 will need HLS. The plan is they want to dock the Orion capsule with either one or both of the HLS landers during that mission in maybe Leo or maybe Heo. We don't know yet. Which is why I think, which I don't think we actually covered earlier, that I think they're testing up they're setting up the nose cone cage at Massey's for testing a nose cone with a docking hardware on top of it. I think that's what's going to be going on there, because that will be. They won't need so much of the other HLS hardware on the ship for Artemis 3, but the docking adapter will be the very important thing to have present at that point in time. And if they want to get this done by, sort of like summer of next year, there's not a lot of time to get all that testing done.
No.
True that. And then AK John Doe is asking, are those solar Tesla tiles roofs on the houses?
Most of them, yeah, most of them.
Alrighty. What solar roof tiles? Did you say?
Yeah, I'm assuming they're referring to the houses in the village. And yeah, most of them, well, good chunk of them have got the solar roof tiles on.
Well, that was all the existing houses. I don't think a lot of the new stuff that they built has those on them. But they came through and did about 10 or 12 houses back in the early days with the solar roofs.
I thought they started doing it, then they went back to normal heavy D roofs in America.
Yeah, I think Alaska's right there. Actually, that most of these are just normal roofs. You can usually tell the difference between the solar tiles and the normal tiles with the shininess of them.
Alrighty. So this little area here, Matt, is getting developed as something.
As I say, do we actually have any idea yet of what's actually going here?
Not
Oh, they
sure.
come right into here as well.
Yeah, you can see some kind of poles going on right there, and then I don't know if that other side is they're digging down to put services in those trenches, or if those are going to be for foundation. So just not sure yet.
All right, well, it's a bit disappointing. Anyhow, let's keep moving on. All right, so maybe I should put a statement out that I don't mean to bash Americans. I'm just joking. I'm sorry. I didn't think people took offence to it, but sorry if you had. I do mean it in the lightest of heart. We do that a bit in Australia. We take the mickey out of each other a bit. We don't mean anything by it. It's just we're just kidding around. I hope you all take it that way, please.
Hey, for what it's worth, I'm giving you permission to take the mickey out with British people. I mean, I do it myself most of the time.
It's just a thing we do. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of people take the mickey out of each other. Anyhow, it's all good. All right, we'll continue on. I'll put that behind myself for now, and we'll move on. Thank you. Just let it be known. I'll just make it officially known that I'm not anything I say about America or Australia or Britain or any other country. I'm definitely not serious. Love you all. And sure, every country has little peculiarities, and sometimes I think it's funny to point them out. That's all. Let's go over to the launch site then.
One last question about Artemis. The real Levi's asking, may they push back all Artemis testing? Did y'all hear about the suits?
About that, there was an OIG report the other day. They're not saying that they expect the suits to be ready until 2031. What they're saying is that if the suit development faces the same delays that previous suit programs have faced in the past, then it could take until 2031. But at the moment, I believe the last thing we heard from Jared Isaacman, I think it was sometime next year, they hope to have suits ready for testing on the ISS and maybe have something ready for Artemis 3. But I think the Artemis 3 thing is still a little bit up in the air exactly what they want to do with that mission. But yeah, but yeah, basically the OIG is saying it's possible it could till 2031. Not that they expect it to take until then. But I do think if if the Axiom suits do actually end up facing the same delays as previous suit development in the past, then that could actually end up being the long pole item in the end, out of everything else that needs to be ready for Artemis 4.
Nice. We also want to thank Stumpy for his $20 donation, and he has a little thing for me to say.
Little.
He wants me to say, silly Sally swiftly shooed 7 silly sheep. The 7 silly sheep, silly Sally shooed, silly shallied, shilly shallied south. These sheep shouldn't sleep in a shack. Sheep should sleep in a shed. He just wanted to hear me say it. You're welcome, Stumpy.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Can you say that again?
No, this show's recorded. You can hear it again on stream.
Stumpy to say it.
Oh, no, I'd love to hear that.
I have 7 silly sheep some days. Okay, at the site of the launch.
Good work,
Thanks,
Indy.
Indy. Yeah, good work. Well done. I think you did that quite well. And g'day, Stumpy.
Yeah, that was, I've got to say, that was a brilliant one from Stumpy there.
Now everyone take a turn.
Oh, I think I might give that one a hard pass at the moment.
Yeah, nah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Stumpy.
nah. Yeah, nah. Okay, maybe they're going to get this ready soon to finish off the concrete. Okay. What's at the launch site? Well, not a lot really. Have a quick look. We were going to hear more about the water deluge.
Well, there's one thing with a little development that's been occurring over the last, well, yesterday, probably today as well. They seem to have actually removed one of the swivel joint for the methane supply line for the QD arm. And it looks like they've set up scaffolding possibly to remove the LOX supply swivel joint as well. So I wonder if that's related to recent movement testing of the arm. Maybe they're not quite moving as they should, those swivel joints. Or is there more something else going on there? Maybe.
So a few adjustments having to be made as they're progressing with their testing regime, which is, I guess, part of the process. I mean, this is a whole new, design. This tower and that particular join there, they've done things differently, a little bit differently this time. So maybe there's something they need to adjust. Doesn't seem unreasonable.
But it's sort of like, yeah, I was talking with Ryan Webber, it's some things just sit there untouched for a while, and then SpaceX just seems to sort of go through and start tweaking. And I guess the more time that passes, we're still wait for Flight 12, the more tweaking of things we're going to keep seeing, which I guess means we might see less later on down the line if all this stuff works.
Interesting to see if they do the same changes at like 39 and 37 as moving forward. Like here in this, whatever they're doing to adjust here, whether we see new, more gas generators or what they're going to do here to address whatever the issue they're having over here is, like adding these things.
I'm just trying to remember what Alex was saying earlier. I think he was saying that we might see more of the combustion. I don't know what you call them, the combustors. You might see more, at least one more of these installed here for the Ridge. Because it seems like they're happy with how the flame buckets are behaving. But yeah, it seems like the Ridge is the sort of area of interest. area of interest at the moment, and yeah, he's pointing out that the pipework on those racks, there was very much always going to be the possibility of adding more of these the combustion hardware into this at a later date.
Yeah, there's elbow T's here for the liquid nitrogen, and there's also T's in here, like here for the other two consumables, the gaseous oxygen and the gaseous methane in amongst here.
Yeah, I did. I was looking at the most recent satellite photo of 39E to see if they've started modifying that dairy farm yet, but I'm not seeing much so far.
Look at Astro Joe in the YouTube chat. Get Astro Joe and Jen and Co. I always say and Co when I talk about people's kids rather than say them. Just say and Co.
We also want to
So-
thank Turtle Sanctuary
Yep.
for their $10 donation. And they wrote, shortest poem, fleas. Adam had 'em.
What a beautiful poem.
Well, that's a bit easier than one Stumpy gave you. I believe that has been removed since this flyover.
Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't they realise it was there? Till someone said it had gone. What's that?
Before we move on any further, I've decided to accept the challenge that Stumpy put out in the chat, and I'm going to try and repeat all that words.
Go ahead.
So, here goes nothing. Silly Sally swiftly shooed 7 silly sheep. The 7 silly sheep silly Sally shooed, silly Sally south. These sheep shouldn't sleep in a shack. Sheep should sleep in a shed. Just wanted to hear Indy say it. Well, you got me saying it as well.
Not
Enter
bad.
name here.
2 down.
9 out of 10. 9 out of 10.
Well done.
I'll take it. I'll take it.
Well done, Jake.
Alright,
Adventures is wondering, there's markings and a surveyor next to the transformers and electrical bunker, pad 2, Steph's favorite building. What's that about?
Well, whatever they want to put there, they certainly don't want anything sitting on top of it.
Stay off.
It's this.
Keep clear.
This isn't the area where they're going to put water storage, is it? Or is that further to the left?
they're putting they're putting a new bunker to get rid of this bunker. That's what's happening there.
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think that whole area is supposed to be water storage.
But then again, would you still put water storage right next to all that electrical, or is it not really an issue?
I couldn't see it being a problem.
Water next to electricity, what could go wrong? No, well, it rains lots, doesn't it? No, they're all sealed for water. That doesn't matter.
Mind you, when they test the top deck there, I thought some of that water goes pretty damn far near all that electrical.
Yes, that too. Now plus that photo. This one might do it. Good question. ED. Call it ED for short now. Can I call you just E? What do I just call you? That's a funny joke of mine once said, like Jay, can I just call you Jay instead? Well, what about just J? Anywho, that's my funny sense of humour. I have a weird sense of humour. Get over it. All right.
We also got 3 more donations, all from Turtle Sanctuary for $5 each. And Turtle says, I will not make host read poetry. He wrote that 3 different times in each donation. And then another question for you guys. Rex Johnson's wondering, ideas what the popping sounds were coming from the tank farm lines during static fire testing?
I think that's referring to something that a post that Zach did the other day on X. Maybe. I'll have
Yeah,
to
we got
see if I
into
can.
that. We got into
Yeah.
that big time in the show and tell. I think you might have already gone to bed. We talked about that for a while, and I don't think nothing's been confirmed.
The camera was focused on here, and there was ice here. Not sure it was a kind of water hammer or ice shattering off, or well, one of the thoughts was maybe bolts popping, but I really don't think that's the case because that would be pretty
No.
disastrous.
That's what it sounded like, but that's definitely not what it was.
Yeah, we covered that in last week's show and tell. Man, we covered things like an hour here, an hour there, an hour everywhere. It was good. Now, Beetlejuice recycling.
And
yeah.
we just got another $5 donation from James Wilson, and he says, "There's no need to fear. The finish line is near." We have a very creative crowd today.
200 of his all. Good on you. Yeah, cool.
Eventu's
Okay.
made a good point. We'll have to wait for the next test to see if the same sounds come back or not.
Yeah, it'd be interesting if it's a common sound for Starbase. You might call idiosyncrasy. What's that word I'm looking for?
Consistent.
I'm sure there'll be a whole load more
Synchronicity.
sound.
Idiosyncrasy.
I'm sure there'll be a whole load more sounds to listen out for when they go to do the first full stack testing.
Did you say songs? Oh, sounds. Sorry.
Sounds. He said sounds.
Sounded like songs. I love the Welsh accent. It's one of my favourite
I got
accents.
another question for you. Resi TDB is wondering, will they ever go and insulate the rest of the tank farm lines that are only partially insulated?
Yes, Zach was covering that as well in the show and tell. We do believe so eventually. They've started already on some of the tank farm in here. Some of these pipes, there's probably a better photo. Some of these pipes are already started to be insulated. Let me just find a better photo here. Or in Stumpy's accent, photo. Not sure if that's a funny thing he does or that's an Oklahoma thing.
I think it's a Stumpy thing.
Yeah. So they've already started in bits and pieces, but yeah, we expect all this to be fully insulated. Because I think Zach was saying something like 30% maybe more efficient with all this insulation. Like these don't need it, but all these pipes here for sure. So I'm going to say yes. Alex and Zach both had a good conversation about that through the show and tell. Because they've got, they've got the vacuum jackets from here on, and the vacuum jackets are even better insulation than this insulation and this insulation too, especially. This insulation's not all that good, but it's better than bare pipes. And this insulation's slightly better, but this vacuum jacketing, that's the best. But they only tend to do that in long in long runs. But apparently they do have elbows and so on for vacuum jacketing as well. But yes, to answer your question simply is yes, we do believe all this will have insulation on it like they did before and started on here already. Thank you.
Steph Stumpy says photo.
That's it, photo.
And you can't forget the scaffolding.
And scaffolding with a T, yeah.
No one can forget the scaffolding.
I don't think that's just a Stumpy thing. I think a few people say scaffolding, to be honest. Scaffolding, it's only a tiny tongue difference in those two sounds. Okay, how are we going here? I guess we can have a look around. So that's 2 hours just on the sites. I don't feel there's a lot to say because we covered so much in the show and tell. Go ahead.
I don't know if that was talked about in the weekly live stream on Saturday or the show and tell, but I think yesterday or day before, it looks like they're actually possibly replacing the sump pumps in the flame trench. I'm
Oh, yeah.
wondering if that's anything to do with damage from 33 engine Starfire.
True, they didn't. I'm not sure. I know I haven't discussed it yet, but yeah, they've had a crane down in here, and Darth was following that as well because he follows the cranes a lot. Yes, and they did seem to pull a pump out, yes, or two. I'm not sure on both sides, but I did see him at least on one side pull a pump out.
I did actually seem to be messing around with a couple of sump pumps just near that door into the service structure area as well. I'm assuming there was new sump pumps for the flame trench, maybe? I don't know.
BJ just popped in. I think he's talking about what we're talking about. Those were visible in Greg Scott's flyover, but were moved before the NSF flight. I guess he's talking about these pumps. Seems like just came in these morning.
No, he's talking about the Starship vehicle transport breakover hardware that we were talking about Robert showed earlier. I think that's what he's referring to, maybe.
Okay. Okay, yep, I see, yep. Yep, that'd make sense. Being a Greg Scott player, sure. Yep. Thank you, Jake. So let's try and find one from the other angle. Yeah, because they're not in this. They're not in here. What are they doing? Oh, so they're actually pumping with a pump here.
Yeah.
From the sump. Oh, the old sump pumps didn't like all that acoustic energy, perhaps.
It does maybe seem like that's what happened because they hadn't. I don't know, maybe it's coincidence, but personally, I think there was something that went on with them during that Starfire testing, that bit to the 33 engine Starfire test.
Well, they're usually not. Coincidences aren't that like. It's not a coincidence. I'm trying to say it might not be a coincidence that those two things happen at the same time.
I'm curious though, how do they actually go about pulling those sump pumps out? Can they take those covers off, or are those things permanently welded in place?
I don't know. They must be able to, because I mean they lifted them, so they must be able to be removable somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, launch site. So we might wait for questions to come back to launch site. In-house electrician. Yeah, I was an electrician. I'm not licensed anymore, but I did my trade school. We have TAFE over here, technical and further education, is where we do our trade school for like being an electrician or other trades, including panel beaters and so on. I passed that with credits, and I passed the test, 2-hour test in like half an hour or something silly, because that's how my brain works. And yeah, it was on the tools for quite a few years. I usually do about 10 years per trade. And yeah, it's a good trade, dangerous at times. It's dangerous. The most dangerous thing I found challenging was when other people made mistakes and that created an accident in front of yourself. That was always an issue. Other people's mistakes. I love this shot. This is a beautiful shot of the booster. It's one of the best shots we've had of it.
Yeah, it's just incredible how much the Griffins can disappear when you're looking directly from above. It's
And how thin that hot stage ring is.
Yeah.
I see interesting there is the weld patterns are not symmetrical kind of symmetrical, but asymmetrical in one zone.
Well, that'll be to do with the way the booster flips away from the ship during the hot staging.
Yeah, apparently that's
Even Waterman's wondering why would they
Okay.
Sorry, Steph. Even Waterman's wondering why they would put a sump pump in the trench. Haven't they heard of jet pumps?
Good point. Yeah, we have a jet pump here in our bore, so it shoots pressure down through a venturi down underneath, and that creates. You end up with water, excess water, and they pump water up the well. You use them in wells that get too deep. After a certain depth, you can't use a lift pump anymore. Good question. Someone in chat, who was that? I can't read that name.
Waterman,
Sorry.
he's asking.
Des Nichols says permanently welded, lol, like permanently concreted. And yeah, the other, yeah, I don't know. I guess they thought that was the best way to go about it. I'm sure they would have heard. I mean, I guess that was a rhetorical question because, yes, of course, they would know about jet pumps, obviously, because they can design a rocket engine. I'm sure they know about jet pumps, that's for sure. As to why, oh, that smells beautiful. Why they did that, I don't know. Guess they thought that was the best option at the time. I might just start cruising around the rest of the sites, and as we get questions back at the normal 4 sites, we can always jump back and forwards, which we're very good at. Let's start with the boat, the little boat. She's a big ship. She's a good ship. The good ship JFK. I'm sure if these walls could talk, there'd be a story to tell, or 1,000 or 1,000.
Oh God,
I'm sure
yeah.
a lot of them.
That
I'm
last.
sure a lot of.
That last. Sorry, Steph. No, you go ahead.
Keep going. You're right, Andy.
I was going to say that last photo, 7586, if you zoom in on the booster, you can see that third grid fin a little bit more than in the close-up.
Yeah, it's just the straight down shot, and most of the disappearing is because of they call it compression artifacts, just in the actual chain, going through Photoshop and then uploading them, and then through all the different cloud things, pixels disappear. But yeah, this one they're slightly on, got a bit more of an angle, a bit more meat to see, so yeah, it's a bit better to see both the opposing grid fins. Are we calling this the dorsal grid fin? Is that what you're calling it, this one, perhaps?
I don't know the most accurate name for that is, but I've been heard it being referred to as a rudder fin quite a bit. That's
Rudder
probably not the most accurate naming, but yeah.
Is it a dorsal fin at the top or the bottom?
That's on the top, I think, dorsal fin.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it pelvic
Normally it's
fin.
on the back top of the whale.
Yeah, first dorsal fin, second dorsal fin. Yeah, they're on the top of the fish, and underneath they're called the pelvic fin or the anal fin. Ooh, okay. Had to ask, didn't I? That's what they call it. Yep, that's what they call it. That's what it's called. Okay, so dorsal's not the right word because dorsal would be on top. So your rudder fin. Okay, I'll keep calling it rudder fin then. Sometimes when you ask Google, I'll tell you. All right. Back to the boat. No, that's good. You jump back and forwards to launch site questions, whatever you want. That's good. We can do that here quite easily. Thank you.
Can you go back to that last photo? I'm got a question about what we're seeing. No, of the boat.
The long photo.
Yeah, there's 2 objects sitting off to the going to the right side at the end of the after the ship. What are those?
They're the rudders.
Ah, okay.
They were sitting, I think the back of I think this whole section's been removed. There's a whole back section here removed, and they were sitting here and here. Yeah, they're the actual rudders. You can see the rudder shaft down through there, and then the actual bit that sits forward, and there's the actual rudder. There's the hinge in there.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Or part of the hinge. The rest of the hinge will be down through there, and yeah, a bit forward to help. Makes it a bit easier. It's kind of like power steering, having a bit forward of the hinge like that. Aircraft do it too, especially on aerobatic planes. It can also help
Master Joe says no reds allowed.
No RUDs allowed, yeah.
Sorry, Steph. Yeah.
And it can also help with flutter, because especially on aircraft, if you have, because this behaves as a wing on an aircraft, especially the actual moving part of the moving part of a control surface is actually behaves like a wing, and if a wing is too tail heavy, it becomes unstable. And so if you put a bit of forward of the hinge, you create a bit of nose weight, in theoretical nose weight, and that can make the actual surface fly more stable and less prone to flutter. But it also helps the pilot, makes the controls easier to move, especially on aerobatic planes where the control surfaces are quite large. Okay, moving on. Bit of aerodynamics.
I was out in the other room for a minute. Is that the next section of Ship 41 going into Mega Bay 2?
Yeah, that's the forward dome section going in.
Oh, okay. Yep, that's the forward dome. Yep. Sail payload bay above that, and this is the top of the methane tank. Yep.
If only the booster stacking was going as fast as this. I really hope that starts catching up soon. Yeah.
So what we'll see here is we'll see them lift the nose cone payload base barrel section up and put it over the top of this and attach some straps in between and put the entire thing over onto the turntable and join the two together.
Yeah, I really hope eventually SpaceX manages to find a way of using this same stacking method with the boosters as well. So they only need to use one turntable per booster then.
Rudders in referred to rudders. Oh, geez, I'm slow some days, Stumpy. I get it now. Very good. Boy, that took me way longer than it probably should have to get that joke. All right.
Better late than never, I guess.
Gee, there's not much to go. There's only this little level of deck here, and they're all down to the hangar deck level completely. Rapid succession. Yeah. Ship a week would be awesome. I think we'll see him quicker than that eventually. Morgan. I think we're getting a visitor. We're expecting a visitor this morning. Well, Kelly is. I'm not. Okay. Yeah, not much to go there. That's awesome.
Yeah,
slowly.
I was gonna say when it comes to scrapping these ships, it just really gives you a good sense of scale of just how much material is used in each of these vessels. It's incredible, really.
The amount of steel, yeah. Well, to start with, just the steel for the main hull superstructure, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like massive amounts of steel. No wonder they want to recycle them.
Oh yeah, exactly. It's just such a sheer amount of material they can get out of this.
And it's not just little steel orbits too, it's massive big sections of it.
Yeah.
Armor plating and all that other stuff.
Yeah. And all the different systems. There's like 1 million systems on board this ship alone.
Commissioning commissioning a ship must be insane.
Yeah, not 1 million, but lots. I guess I think we worked out they were for the anchor chains.
Yeah, yeah.
The anchor chains.
Yeah.
Probably go to the chain lockers.
Yeah.
Chain locker.
But it's funny though. They're scrapping this entire ship faster than SpaceX scraps some Starship vehicle hardware.
Oh yes, they do. Huh, is that allowed? It looks like they may have been able to access these little voids. They could, yeah, just access these voids. I guess to routine inspections.
Yeah,
I guess.
I was gonna say, yeah, you'd need to be able to access pretty much every part of the ship to inspect structure like that.
All those little hidey holes. Boy, oh boy, the mind
Yeah.
boggles. Very good. Very, very good. Another big room in here. Some of the original paint. Pretty grey and red. Yeah, lots of stuff, lots of plumbing and lots of stuff. All on the side here, must be like workshops and so on for the aircraft all the way through here. Looks like some kind of workshop desk in here, workshop bench. More things that go up through the decks, whatever, services, air, whatever.
I was gonna say
some
that's not
weapons.
it's not the galley there, is it? Let's take that little area. That's all. It looks like maybe surface, like cooking surfaces or for preparing food, possibly.
That's
Probably
right on
well
the
guessed.
right on the flight deck. I would doubt that they would have food right there.
Ah, good point. Good point.
I've got no idea the galley's down underneath down here somewhere, actually. But yeah,
Probably have a few
underneath.
galleys. They have more than one.
Well, not flight deck, but yeah, the hangar deck anyway, at least, remember. But true, still true though. Yeah, there's quite a few. I'm thinking they're workshops, to be honest. But I mean, I'm guessing too. We're only guessing here.
No, that'd make more sense, I think.
Because yeah, the flight deck. I mean, sorry, I did it myself. Never done that to me. The hangar deck would need fairly specialised workshops. You'd imagine.
All for one
Yeah,
suggested maintenance facilities for a variety of planes.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I forget that they've scrapped a lot of this ship, but there's still quite a few more levels to go.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they've only scratched the surface. They've only really taken the sidewalls here and what goes over the top of the hangar deck, which would be there's a few there's a whole set of rooms in between the hangar deck and the flight deck, which basically, Alex was saying, basically acts as a box section on top of the ship.
Yeah.
Okay, it's always interesting to see that thing getting demolished. Have a quick look at the end of the port, see how that dock up there is going. Let's see if I've got a picture of it. That dock up there. It's still putting piles in. They're nearly finished putting piles in. I guess we'll see the deck go on soon. There's probably a closer photo here somewhere. Just having a good look at. Well, quite a few photos to go around all the different sites. Let's start going through them quickly, or in order from the airport lot, and work our way through.
While we look at that, we also want to thank Turtle Sanctuary for the $10 donation. And they said first, and they are actually the last donation to get us to our target of 15. So thank you to everybody who donated, and thanks you to Turtle Sanctuary who donated most recently. Thanks, everybody.
Oh, for getting down into the city of the ship. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly right. These aircraft carriers and other, not just aircraft carriers, but a lot of these larger vessels. Yeah, I guess you're right. All this above here from this deck and above would be all their situation, or maybe some of their actually main day-to-day running of the actual flight deck and all that of the ship. Whereas underneath this deck from here down is the actual city of the ship, the actual city, because these things very much a floating city, that's for sure, with everything you'd expect to see in a city, including galleys and messes and I think maybe even shops and laundries and all sorts of, so many systems on those big ships with so many for the large amount of sailors on board. Good on them. Well done, whatever they do. They're an integral part of the Navy, which I think do okay. Okay, oh, we almost get to see inside a tent. Oh, boogity, boogity.
Yeah, I'd love to see inside of those buildings, what they got stored inside there.
Let me see. Oh, it looks empty, kind of, that one. Oh, nothing sitting in the open to tell. Oh, never mind. Lots of stuff. More big stuff. Nothing new that I think exciting. I don't know what's in the box. Oh, look out. They are actually getting rid of stuff. Cool. Are these old press trailers, are they? Kind of look like it, don't
Those have been there for a long time, from what I can remember. And on the trailers, there used to be signs saying Thing 1 and Thing 2.
they? Thing.
I'm sure that's what they used to say, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure too. I remember that.
And those are transformers in those boxes.
Okay, how did you work that out?
Look to the left.
Ah.
Yep, there's one in there. And you can see the same transformers on the other side as well. Basically, kind of, there's one sitting right behind that box, already unboxed, and yeah. Lots of old transformers in the back, as you can see, all those little green ones.
Wait, so hang on. Transformers inside the boxes. So Transformers robots in disguise?
Oh, jeez.
More than meets the eyes.
Someone had to do it.
I
Jake, that
couldn't
was amazing.
resist.
That was as good. That was as good as that other one where you said about something you like big something and you can't lie. That was hilarious.
Oh, I like big bunkers and I cannot lie.
That was
Bunkers.
hilarious.
I was wondering where that was going then. Yeah, there's the old chopstick actuators with all their associated paraphernalia all over them. And here's this one's paraphernalia.
I would like one shipped to me, please.
Get in line.
Large, garden ornament.
All right,
I guess you could make
we just called those two.
Sold and sold. Very good.
That's one way to close your main gate.
You wouldn't want to get in its way.
It would be a gate that went from coast to coast. Stumpy's wondering anything going on with Pad 1?
Let me have a quick look for you there. A little bit. It's moving ahead, slowly but surely. Over
More sheet
yonder.
piles.
So they've been adding some sheet piles over there, not quite sure why. But we did see them have this, they had to cut through this one on pad B too to get the water pipes through here. The water pipes have to come through here at some stage. There's some sheet piling over here because remember we saw at 39A the flame trench is slightly lower in the ground because of the different height tower bases. So we can see a bit of that going on here. They're already starting to drop the ground level down here a bit for this fluids bunker to sit down a little bit lower with the trench as well. They just add an extra. Sorry, Jack. They just add an extra speed well section on top of the trenches here as well. Go ahead.
Do we actually have an answer yet as to what that extra bit of sheet piling is on the left side there? What's actually going on there? Not that, but the wider area.
Asking the same question.
The wider area? Yeah, I guess it's like I said. No, I don't know. This was to drop the bunker down. Maybe just as part of that. I don't know actually why they're doing this. But yeah, you can already see they've dug down a bit in it all. I don't know. And
Because yeah,
are they
we never
putting
saw that.
an end? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say, because we never saw that particular part over at Pad 2, did we? That area you're on now.
Neither this one either, but it didn't need to be dug down either at Pad R2.
Yeah, I understand the sheep islands are on where the service structure is going to go, but it's that other row of islands at sheep islands there. It's still baffling me a little bit.
This right, yeah, of course that's for the trench, yeah, but yeah, this one here, yeah, for sure, yeah. And are they putting sheep piles here across the end of the flame trench too, perhaps? They're putting these things in this way.
Maybe. Yeah. Because they still need to put the posts in the ground each end for that alignment. But maybe.
Unless they just weld it on here, Jake.
Do they normally do it like that if they don't use the posts?
So over here too, so I got sidetracked there, Stumpy. They've also creating, we believe, in embed for the service structure to go, that's upside down, to be put in here. So that'll be in the concrete, ready for the structure to be put on top. They've been bringing in more parts for the service structure, and they brought in more of the panels for the roof. I believe we've got the end caps here somewhere for the top of the tower. Somewhere here, was it them, I think? For the nose of the tower, like they did over here on pad 1 here. Pad 2, sorry. These nose.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where there's
Were they
one.
Sanchez?
Yeah, there's one in Sanchez, and then there's one near in one of these piles here as well.
Oh, there
Yeah,
it is
there's
on
that
top.
one, and then the other one's that's sitting over Sanchez.
Yeah.
Oh, look, here's more of those doubler things. Those braces for the corners there, Kiwi.
Oh, yeah.
For the top of the
Either
tower.
moved those or gotten more, yeah.
We saw them also, the braces, yeah. The little braces we saw at Sanchez that brace that we saw them put into under here on those, to join all those bits of steel on the other old roof underneath. And the one below it too. And then those corner pieces I was talking about are sitting in the corner. I'm just thinking, is that actually one? No, but somewhere in the corner, underneath in the corner there, they put those these corner braces I just pointed out. These ones here, just to strengthen everything up. They're continuing a road. Looks like I thought this road was going to continue. I didn't think it was just to access here. So this is all levelled out, maybe for staging, but I doubt they'll start the liquefaction plant just yet, purification plant just yet, although they may. And yeah, they're continuing on this road. They put down some more geotex for this circuit to go through this road. This road, it's a circuit, and I guess they may use that gate a bit, or they may just drive through to. I'm still not 100% on the gate numbers here. Is that D1 or D0? How does the numbers work?
Oh God, I'm trying to remember now.
That should be 1 at this point.
Yeah,
And
that's gotta be
gate
1.
2?
1,
Yeah.
2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
3.
Okay.
Brody says D1.
D1, cool, yeah. So they haven't got a D0. I thought there was a D0 at one stage.
And D5 is the new
Nope.
one by the roundabout.
No
isn't it?
D0.
When all of that was dirt in the early construction and the D1 gate had the SpaceX sign above it, that's when they were calling that D0. But when the SpaceX sign gate went away, that became D1.
Thank you. That's what's going on. Yep, that's what I thought.
I suppose
So-
That's an interesting question. Does the ASU side, does that have a D numbered gate as well?
So this was D1, you're saying, Alaska, wasn't it? And then this
Yes. Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, with the ASU site being on the other side of the road, if it's got a gate, it might be an E gate
Yeah,
or an
see that.
e-ticket if you went to Disneyland way back in the day.
I was going to say, do you need an E-tag to get into the E-gate? You beat me to it. So that's about as much as, I suppose, around here they've concreted the where the apron's going. It appears this time, Stumpy, they're going to hang the weight of the drawworks over this side, I guess. No, that side, sorry. The weight of the drawworks is probably going to be mounted onto the actual tower rather than the apron like they did on pad B, because there's no embeds under here, so it's more likely going to have a counter. What do they call it? Cantilever out here.
Lever?
Thanks.
I still think there's the there's gonna be plates sticking off the edges of the housing that'll go around the front of the tower as well. I think, if I'm seeing things correctly there.
Someone's asking chat about pad 1, pad A, pad 2, pad B. I use those terms very interchangeably. It depends what comes out of my mouth at the time. I don't necessarily say that's exactly what they're called, but pad 1, pad A, pad scrap. This site has many names.
Evie Gizmo's wondering, will they be powering up the ASU anytime soon?
Oh no, there's still a decent amount of work to be done on that.
So that would require this building here, and so what you'll see before that is you'll see a large amount of cable drums sitting around on cable rollers, and when they start drawing all the cables in through these massive amounts of conduits that run between that building and everywhere else, and over through here, this is all steel, not conduits, but up in here there's heaps and heaps and heaps of conduits up in here. Heaps of conduits went over this way and up into, so they go into the pad. I'm wondering if there's an actual control box room somewhere in here somewhere, or if that's in fact something that's going on in under there.
And that's
yeah.
I was going to say that's the other thing as well. Do they actually have the power running to this site yet? Because I'm sure someone mentioned something a little while ago that they need to put another line in for this site.
There is apparently another electric feed coming in to Starbase, to the launch site, and that specifically for the ASU. They may be able to run it in the interim. There's power here, at least we know that. Then there's some more of these boxes over here. So they may be able to, in the interim, get it running, I guess. Because an ASU is something you don't want to stop once it's running. So yeah, they may or may not, Jake, actually wait for that mains to come in. I've got an idea they just might wait for those new mains to come in, to be honest. Now, just say those few things.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if they didn't wait until then.
But even if there was the power here already for it, actually the mains power, yeah, you'll have to wait to once you see a lot of the conduit work going in. I mean, the cabling getting drawn into the conduits, which I don't expect will happen until a lot of the metal work is finished. Even the majority of the metal work.
And I mean, you're still missing some major hardware here as well. I mean, what was it? The chillers to the left, they're not to be seen yet.
Oh, over
On
here,
the other,
Yeah, the cooling towers. Plus, it looks like there's plans to extend the walls higher, basically almost all the way around the site.
Yeah.
Yeah, around the site. Yeah, all the way around here. It's probably a semi in air quotes blast wall, I guess. On this side, doesn't seem to have on that side, but yeah, sort of blast wall all the way around here, all the way here, and probably all the way around. So there's all this bit of wall here to be finished as well. But yeah, the electrical side of things, I don't think until the metalwork, metalwork, steelwork, and all this integration I think would go in first. There's probably a certain amount of wiring maybe in these modules, or at least the conduits ready to draw wires through. Electrical's sort of something you do later on, because electrical cables get damaged quite easily. Like in concrete slabs now, we run conduits. We never put cables in the conduits until the concreting's finished. And quite often we'll do at least one option of routing the cables through the conduits, because inevitably a conduit gets squashed or filled with concrete somewhere along the line, and it's a bit of a hassle when it's in concrete to redo that. So we generally have a plan B, which maybe instead of running from this light switch to that light in the concrete, we might have to go all the way over here and around in this conduit around that way and come back to it. But we usually have a second route. So generally the actual cabling's done later after the building's finished. And a lot of industrial cabling, it's in cable trays and so on. It's not like a house where cabling has to go through the walls and so on. In an industrial environment, cabling is rarely hidden. It's usually in exposed conduits and exposed cable trays, underground conduits, etc. But you don't have to rough a factory in like you have to rough a house in and drill holes in all the timber walls and that to run the cables through the walls like they do in domestic. 3 different fields: electricals, commercial, domestic and industrial, and all very much different techniques. There's a bit of a crossover in industrial and commercial, but generally they're 3 different things. Commercial doesn't usually have these massive power draw devices on board. Like an office building doesn't have massive compressors like this AHU does, etc. Okay, keep them questions coming in. If you want more on the launch site, we'll keep going around the other sites as we wait for questions. And thank you for your involvement with asking questions. Really appreciate it.
More questions, more better.
Those things have been kicking around for the longest time.
Those are actually quite new. It was interesting to see that they seem to be kicked out already.
Oh, is that for RVAC?
Yeah.
The old way of doing it, yeah. Oh, that's some kind of thing that holds some kind of big pipe.
Apologies if it's already been talked about, but do we know where all the stuff from the storage lot near Marcy's has gone? 'Cause I was looking through some flyover photos earlier and I noticed it's looking quite bare over there now.
Let me have a look over there quickly. No, not that site. I saw a photo of it before over here somewhere. It's in this. Oh wow! Oh my goodness! When did that happen?
I don't know. I had a hell of a shock when I looked at that earlier.
Hang on, was that like that last week?
I'm not sure.
I don't think so.
Let me just quickly bring that up quickly. Wow, that's pretty amazing. Let me quickly find it. That's a hard thing to quickly find something sometimes. Let me quickly look through here.
Past it. It's near the brown lot. Keep going. Right around there, isn't it? No.
You're tricking me. It's over this side, I think.
Yeah, I was right.
Yeah, I have a feeling they've probably been emptying that out for a while already, and we just haven't really noticed it until now.
That's close.
Oh, it's on the other side. We haven't got. Was this the low flyover? Was it last week? Is it? Or was it the week before?
17th. So last week, yeah.
We go to 04. Just hang fire for a sec. Hang on.
Capsex
seen
points
that.
out it emptied between the two latest flyovers.
Okay, cool. So it must be in this. Must be in these shots here. Some of us haven't quite found it. Let me just quickly zip through them.
Is that Route 4 where those high tension line poles are?
This will spin your eyes out. Oh. I'll come back to that question 1 sec. I don't have one from the 17th. And this is from the 4th.
Yeah, I have a feeling that it's just they haven't just suddenly emptied that lot. I think they've been emptying it over
Oh, so that's the
a long
4th.
period of
So
time.
they've already started here on the 4th. Oh, so we saw things like that. No, on the 4th, we looked at this on the 4th and didn't actually notice all this missing. Huh, there you go. Blind as a bat some days. Don't mean to offend bats, but anywho, just a saying. Wow, so this week, wow. A lot of it's cleared out. Well, that's good, because a lot of that stuff was leftover stuff, like from ages ago too.
I was gonna say, have they actually got rid of some of this stuff, or have they just moved it from one place to another?
Yeah, probably a bit of both. Yeah, cool.
Well, I mean, there's those white platforms in the middle. We know they're now sitting over at the airport lot. That they were in the in that older photo just now. Yeah.
Ah, yeah, gotcha. Yep.
So yeah, so they've definitely moved some stuff to the airport.
So I think Matt was saying that they've cleared a lot of the airport lot out. Oh, this is the wrong week.
Wonder if they have another purpose for this lot for some of the construction going on.
Yeah, some staging for pad 1, yeah.
I think there's a lot of stuff they've just outright gotten rid of, because I mean, this storage lot of the airport is looking pretty clean with that other lot being cleared out.
It's looking, more organised. Actually, yeah. Slowly. They've actually got like transformer area, cabling area, like, drainage culverts area, sort of white stuff area, tent over here. Sort of a bit more organised in areas, to be honest. I reckon they've somewhat upgraded their logistics department recently.
It does seem that way, looking at all the various storage lots. It's definitely coming across as that's what's going on now.
Now, someone asked about high tension cables. What was that?
It looked like there were some some tall high tension cable poles along 4 on one of those pictures. And I wasn't sure whether it was 4 or somewhere else.
There's a picture of 48 in here somewhere that he has flashed on a few times that shows the power lines going to that plant. There's some pictures of further up the highway away from the plant, so you don't see the plant in it.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm seeing. Yeah.
Are you back in this week's folder also?
Maybe. Let me just double check that. I think so, because it's got expanded. Let me just see. I can tell at the ship. I can tell at the boat. Let me have a look at the boat. Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, I believe in the right folder. Thank you for making sure, because that does happen on a regular basis. Okay, that's the other ASU, and so are we in the right angle to see those tall power? Oh, there they are. There, aren't they? There, those. That's the same power line there, I believe. Maybe, I think. I might be wrong there.
That's clearly not the road I was looking at.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
I saw it.
Just that one shot.
Yeah.
I think I saw it, Bob. It was just it, but it's still a chunk of Highway 48 down closer to the port, but you don't see any of the port in it.
It should be running. Oh, they haven't quite got this far yet, have they? Or is it over there coming across?
Yeah, it's further down the highway, and you have a picture in there that's essentially just highway, but it's Highway 48. It's not Highway 4.
Okay, cool. That's probably where the confusion was. Yep. But that's those power poles over. Oh, they're on the other side of the road up this end, further towards the plant. They must cross the highway somewhere. Oh, they've come quite a long way with these power poles now. Actually, they're up to here now, because they were only near not far from the actual gasification plant not long ago. So they're getting there, further and further along. Oh, well, actually, they're going even further again. Okay. Well, that's good progress on that line. So maybe that was what I was seeing when I'm looking at the over here. That may be that power line running through over there. We're looking back the other way now. We're looking towards, I'm pretty sure we're looking towards Mexico now, out in the far distance up there. That's the other ASU unit. I might be wrong when I'm talking about orientation. I might be disorientated, so.
Yeah, I think we're north and east of Brownsville at this point, where that is.
Yeah. So the port's like over here.
Oh, the port should be off to the right, I think.
I get disoriented sometimes.
And you're looking east. You're not looking toward Mexico in that picture, I think.
This one looking east. Okay, yeah.
Correct. Well, north and east.
Cool. Is that that ASU site's way up to the left here? I think it's on that road too, or is it on that road? It might be on that road actually. Highway, whatever you want to call it. Road, highway, whatever.
There's a couple of more highways up there when you get up in that area, so I'm not sure it's either one of those.
Cool.
What time did he fly?
This one was Friday,
2 p.m.
in the afternoon.
Yeah, look at the shadows on the building on the right. That'll give you an idea of what direction you're looking at. See the roof shadow? So that's looking northeast.
Very clever. I see a big lack of cooling fans here. There was hundreds of them here. They must have moved them over to the next train. I think I see these moving around too. So they're still actively constructing quite a few wind turbines. I see. I think Texas is one of the states that lead the way with wind turbines. I think I read somewhere. Is that right? There's a lot of funny debates about wind turbines around. Personally, I like them, but yeah. Anywho, we'll leave that for another day. So, there's the highway connector road. Still no change in the tanks there. Let's just quickly go through all these photos. There's the highway connector road, and there's going to be some kind of mill over there and some kind of oil refinery over this side somewhere. I think this is where I saw them for a while when they were dredging. They were using one of these. The outlet pipe was coming up one of these. Might have been this one coming up here. Yeah, the outlet pipe was running along here, came all the way out here. I guess they were filling this area in with it. It's a good idea to use the dredgings to fill to try and recover some of this low-lying land here and there. Okay, this is the brown lot. I keep mixing up this lot and that other steel lot. So we've got more of that steel for cladding. Yeah, there's something here. This is something different. Yeah, so that's maybe not a building, but yeah, it's for a building, but maybe not a building for here. Last week we saw them starting to mark out these car parks or parking spots at least. The wall, the river, Mexico, which means Highway 4. I get this site mixed up. I keep calling this the brown site. Still a few more, looks like heaps of tower sections missing. Obviously they recently lifted the cranes up. But still more sections to go. Rusty steel. Gotta love some rusty steel. Ugh. All the rubbish down here. Hey, timber, it's fine. Timber decomposes.
That's just all the stickers that they put in between the steel.
These sticks. You call them stickers? Was that why did you say stickers?
That's what was commonly used when I was doing construction, was stickers between the different things.
Oh, cool. Didn't know that. There you go. Learn something every day. Didn't learn nothing new yesterday. All right.
Got to remember, I did construction 40 or 50 years ago, so.
Yeah. Same with my electrical stuff. Sometimes I say terms that might not be quite up to date because that was, what was that, mid-90s I finished doing that. Well, it's not quite as long ago as you're talking, but yeah, still a while. Yeah, when other people's mistakes make things dangerous, that's when electrical work gets real hairy and not very enjoyable. Okay, there's the Port Connector Road and the concrete site, and up to Highway 4, where there's, as we mentioned last week, we could see a lot of construction work happening. So if you look in was it in Patreon? No, in Zach's server. Dave Avery's done. Okay, we have to leave. Okay, we have to lose Jake. So are you still here, Jake? We say goodbye to Jake.
Yeah, sorry, I'd love to go on for a bit longer, but I've got to be heading. I've got to be trying to get an early night because I got an important appointment in the morning. So, yeah, thanks for having me on, and yeah, it's been a good laugh again, and hope to join you all again soon. See you guys.
Thanks,
Thanks
Jake.
for your time, and
See you, Jake.
good luck with your important. Good luck with your important appointment tomorrow.
Thank you. See you guys.
As
Cool.
Todd slides into the co-host role.
Wait, what?
I see. That's what do you call it? On-ramp and off-ramp. Wow, they're long off-ramps and on-ramps. Wow, they're the longest on-ramps and off-ramps I've ever seen in my whole life. They're huge. Do you call them on ramps and off ramps? Is that what you call them too?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep.
So normally they're this long, aren't they? Just short on ramps and off ramps. Except obviously I keep pointing to the wrong one because you guys drive on the opposite side of the road. I won't say wrong, I'll say opposite. Don't want to upset anybody. Now, there's some rail. So that ASU site, it should be in sight in this photo, I think.
That looks like it's the end and start of a highway, so that's probably why it's so long there. Because yes,
Upper
usually
left. Upper left.
I think that's it there, yeah?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, thank you. Cool bananas. Or apricots or mangoes, whatever your choice is. Very industrial, nice to see a bit of industry. So Brownsville's always had a bit of industry, I noticed. So, I mean, SpaceX obviously has added a fair amount, but it looks like they've always had a fair amount of industry here anyway. Aluminium, steel. Oh, they're doing other steels here too, maybe as well now. Like some maybe steel. Oh, they're steel pipes. Oh, yeah. Very good. Lots of aluminium. Aluminium, mate. So there's. Oh, we've noticed this week was the big news. Oh, that's what I didn't put in. I should have put that in the script actually. OLM part arriving. I didn't do that. Dang it. We might change the intro yet there, Matt, and include that because I think that's more important than anything else I wrote as the highlights this week, actually.
Yeah, that's easy for sure.
I'll be working on that this afternoon on my time or this evening your time. I should have it all finished, ready for Steve by tomorrow morning. His time. Oh, he's Europe, isn't he? So he might actually be able to work on it as soon as I finish with it today. I tried to finish it last night. I just ran out of poop. I had a big day.
The interesting thing about the placement of that is that means that probably came in off of a boat somewhere, right?
It does suggest that, yes.
Yeah, sure seems that way.
And from where is the good question of why it needed to come on a boat and not a truck, because all the last ones all came on a truck. And it's on a... now that's... It could be that, or it could have come on the truck and they're just storing it here. Like they're storing the tanks here. But generally things that come here have come and gone on ships, so 6 to 1.5 dozen out. I'm not sure. Possibly come on a ship, possibly came on a truck. Yeah, that's a highway hauler, isn't it? That's a highway truck, is it not?
Yeah, but you would need that to go down Route 4 anyway.
But they don't necessarily need like a high. No, they can go. They can use these slower sort of things. This is actually designed for properly, for actual open highway use.
I mean, the height of it looks like it won't clear a normal bridge, right? Looks exceptionally high.
Actually, that's a good point because they did bring the last ones on the highway, but they had those things on top to deflect power lines up and over it, remember?
Yeah, those guide sticks.
Yeah. Which is kind of rugged, but it works.
I know we talked about like unloading and loading that. And I talked to a buddy of mine. He said those trailers right there can go anywhere from 6 to 18 inches in height difference, depending on what you're doing and if you're trying to unload it. So he said something like that would probably be unloaded by going as high as they could, bringing in some stands on each side, and then they could just drive it out from underneath, depending on which way they just detach the back trailer so it wouldn't have the big hump there, and it could go right out once the stands have the weight. He said they could also, he saw those other module trailers, he said they could also bring those up the sides and lift it up with that and then set it down back onto more stands in the middle. He said there's many ways they could offload and unload that type of a structure from that type of a trailer.
Yeah, and you could see that's a drop trailer too, so it's actually sitting on a much lower deck. It's only like a couple feet off the ground.
It's a low loader. I would call it a low loader.
So yeah, I mean, if that piece was only 10 feet tall, then it would be able to go under overpasses.
Don't think we've decided whether that came on the road or a boat, to be honest, but that's a very good question. And yeah, I don't actually have an answer for it.
I mean, there's tons of other places they could have, stored it, right?
Well,
yeah, out in the open, not many that we wouldn't have seen, but yeah, other places, maybe undercover or somewhere else. I'm sure they could have, or where they're building it, could have been there. We don't know where those were built, right? I mean, I think we know Texas, I think, or was it Florida?
Or Georgia or Alabama in a shipyard somewhere.
Yeah.
This could be why that lot is getting cleared out to start putting some of these over there.
Well, they're getting ready for it in Sanchez. They've been setting up that area and clearing it out for this kind of stuff.
Yeah, for sure. But isn't it like 3 separate layers? So they'd probably stack a couple sections over there, like closer to the build site that way, instead of like holding everything over here, you know.
Yeah, there's the base layer to go down first, and then this is the upper layer of the actual OLM, and then of course on top's the water deck. So this is where the actual clamps sit in this one, and then there's the whole lower square to go underneath this. So they may just not be ready for them to be at Sanchez, so they need to be stored somewhere like here, or in fact, see that, I think what's going to happen, I think that's going to actually exactly what your mate said. These are going to get uploaded here, I'd imagine, and then later on rolled up to the Sanchez. There's no room at Sanchez right now for them because they've got to build the whole bottom one, I think. And Sanchez is quite busy right now with all the construction going on over there. See, and the other lots here, they may be clearing, like you said, clearing those lots for this. There's even all these. This is all to do with unloading this, I'm guessing.
So that was part of the conversation I had with him. He says it's hard to tell if that could be used for unloading, but we don't know. That could have just rolled up and they're switching trucks and it's not there anymore. He says we just don't know what they were doing, which way they were switching it. They could be have switched it from something onto that, and they don't. That stuff's just there. He said they could be used, but there's no guarantee on that.
Almost looks like it came on the road by the road, and they're actually going to take it off that. That kind of looks like the truck that may have even pulled that. Oh, no, I don't know. This has a weight on the back, and this is a drawbar truck, and this is actually a fifth wheel device. A turntable, they have a turntable under it. So where's the fifth wheel? Is the fifth wheel on a trailer, or is the fifth wheel on the truck?
In this case, it's probably not a fifth wheel at all. It's probably just a tow bar.
Oh, this one here it is. I mean, but in general, when you talk about a fifth wheel, is the fifth wheel the turntable on the truck, or is it the trailer bit?
That's what I thought, but now that I don't think I've ever been told that or explained that, but that's what I thought.
We call it a turntable on the truck, and on the trailer it's called a plate. But I mean, some Aussies call it the fifth wheel too, especially when it comes to like in SUVs and that, when you got like a gooseneck trailer. A lot of people call a gooseneck trailers a fifth wheel trailer. Also, but like then people tell me there's a fifth wheel or there's a ball. So in Australia, we tend to generalise all them as goosenecks or fifth wheelers. But unlike on some SUVs, they've got the gooseneck goes to a ball and some go to a little turntable or fifth wheel. Only mine, it's only trivia, sorry. Trivial dribble. Okay, moving on to this site. Oh wow, they've really cleared this site. Probably a playground, Matt. I think Matt's saying even out here could be some kind of playground too. It's interesting they fence the two. Like if that was just a playground, you'd think they'd only have the outside fence, not worry. Well, that might just be like.
Is that irrigation pipe in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah, they've got
kind of
lines.
looks like a track around the outside of the bigger area.
Up here, yeah. Oh, it does too, yeah. Ah, okay, racetrack. Dirt track speedway.
Yes,
They start them
please.
young in Texas.
Hey, it's good. I learned to drive when I was like 8 or 10 or something. I can't remember now. Didn't we all learn to drive when we were that young, when we were back in our day? Back in the old days.
Oh yeah.
I think I
I
can
started
still
with go
remember.
karts when I was 7.
I think I can still remember being in the old F600 tipper truck with Dad to put it in low range and set the hand throttle just in first gear, and we were just standing on the seat. When we get down the other end of the paddock, he'd say, turn. So we just turned the wheel, and while he was feeding hay off the back to the cattle and sheep. That's some of my very early memories of driving.
Looks like they got the electric chargers in also in the parking lot.
The disabled? Where are you seeing that?
Where all the Cybertrucks are.
Oh, of course, yeah. Yeah.
Wait, school's it's not open yet, right?
No, but it's close.
Yeah, they got a bus in there in the turnaround.
I don't know that that's a hard no there, Todd. To be honest, now you say that. And plenty of like staff cars rather than construction cars. So maybe they've got some of the classrooms open.
Are they kids on the playground up by the ship?
Maybe.
That's a good catch.
Yeah, there's a good chance this is that like, no, humanoids there, no. There's a good chance this is, yeah, actually open. Now you say that. It doesn't take a lot to fit out a classroom, really. It's not like bring a heap of desks and put a bit of furniture.
Could be just partially open, using the rooms that are finished, but they're still working on other things. I don't know. But the bus makes me wonder, yeah, it looks like there's kids over there.
The gates are operational. So
2 buses even.
Oh,
not just operational stuff, but they're closed. Looks like they're mostly closed. That to me says they got kids. If it was still just construction, they'd leave them open. They wouldn't have them closing and opening for every construction guy that goes in.
That is actually a really good point.
And actually, there's a lack of construction cars too. Like there's a couple here, and a couple over here, but there's no in here. There's no. I can't see any real construction. I mean, there's a bit going on here.
Yeah.
But none of them are construction cars. Like like this, with roof racks and stuff. Yep, it's a good chance that they're underway with
And
their education.
Is there a police car by that left gate? The bottom gate.
Maybe. Do you just have police? Is that a thing you do over there? Have a police car at a school?
They do at this school, and if you look at the top gate up by the highway, it looks like there might be another one sitting up there.
Oh, that one?
No, the other one, the Cybertruck.
Oh, so okay. I think that's just coming in.
It's not
Cool. Yeah, I reckon that's actually operational. Sorry, you just have to have police vehicles parked at your schools. That's a bit ordinary, but anyway, just sign of modern times, I guess.
That's not every school, but this school, ever since Elon first started it, has had police presence out there all the time.
Oh, that's even sadder. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Oh, they've got kids there that have parents that are pretty wealthy or in high positions that is just having one there, even if they don't, there's no need, no worry, is just a reassuring thing for parents. And just like I said, they got kids there that are come from nice families or rich families, and that's the security issue right there.
And the old school's
Event
empty.
News
The
points out.
parking lot's empty at the old school, and there's no police presence there.
Event Dudes points out that they have cops at all schools in Texas, every one of them, including some of the teachers.
Oh, cool.
In the school on the left, bottom left, there's usually a police car parked out front, and there's no nobody in the parking lot.
That is empty. And we flew on a weekday, so yeah, I think we got an open school.
Friday lunchtime even, yeah, so it's Friday 2 o'clock, school time still in, just. Do schools stop at 3:30 like they do here in Australia? Start at 9, end at 3:30?
Somewhere around there, they're all a little different.
What's the over-under on the original Ad Astra being torn down and completely redone now? Since they've moved all the kids out.
No, I'm not taking that bet on either way, because I thought something said about reusing it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's just reusing the land.
Well, what we were kind of speculating was maybe this would be like the preschool, and then the new school would be elementary, but who knows? You know, we just don't know. Honestly, I could see at least a refurbishment if they wanted to do something like that.
Yeah.
Preschool or seniors, even like high school. What's elementary go to? Grade 6 or higher? Grade 9 was elementary go to?
It depends. Some states it's till 6th grade, then there's middle school, 7th and 8th, and then high school, 9th, 8th. No. Yeah, and then high school for 4 years.
6th.
Some of them end at 5th grade too now, and they move 6th to middle school.
Florida's 5th grade.
Australia's K 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is primary school, and 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is high school. And then you go into tertiary, which is either go to TAFE, a technical college, or you go to uni for your degrees. You get your certificates at TAFE, so cert level 3 and 4 for all sorts of things. Or you'd actually get trades. I didn't get a certificate like that. I actually got my electrical license out of it. Electrical fitter, what do they call us? Electrical fitter turner, I think was the words. Anyhow, that was a long time ago. Okay, that's him. I might come back to that because there's better photos of that. The other steel lot on Highway 4. Oh, there's one of the bridge crane rails columns that hasn't had its mods yet. Are they doing those mods here as well? Let me have a quick look around. Here's some more here. No, they haven't been modded. I wonder if they're all getting modded. BJ. Did it bring him? Is he here? No. It's worth a try. Maybe only some of them are getting modified. Okay. Okay, let's see quickly. We've got another photo of. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Okay, Matt, what's going on over here? Anything exciting?
Well, they've got landscaping in that center area. They've been putting a lot of the big trees and stuff over there, but they haven't put in any of the pathways or anything just yet. They've got them all outlined, but they haven't put any of the mulch or anything down yet.
A better picture.
Yep.
Installing trees. I'm going to say it. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to say it. I'm going to keep saying it. I'm going to keep saying it.
Yeah. And then they're kind of
storage lot.
Staging them over there a little bit. But yeah, that's what Event Dudes confirmed. I believe it was last week that lot had finally been transferred over. So, yeah, that'll probably be the next one, along with the one over to the left there that you can see the front end loader and everything in.
Oh, that's hilarious, Turtle Sanctuary. Hotwired my first car in 3rd grade to skip school. Oh, wait, is this out loud? And thank you very, very much for your $5 donation. That's hilarious. Sorry, India, just couldn't resist.
No, please.
Now, Event Dude, does that lot that's above us right now, is that 1 lot or 2 lots? That looks pretty big.
Oh, no, now I just made it out loud.
That should be 2 lots right up there.
It's 2.
Okay, and that's 2 in the brown, not the green one, the 2 that they're doing. That's right.
I wouldn't phrase it like that, but it's 2.
We'll just move on from that. Cool. Thank
And
you.
look, there's water in the pool.
What?
Just rainwater.
You had me excited then.
Yep. It looks like they've almost completely finished the ramp, though, as well. You can see just a little bit more at the bottom still needs to be finished. Otherwise, not a lot's changed. They're just kind of tidying up that, the last few percentage.
A bit that takes all the time. Gee, looks pretty schmick.
Yeah, as the saying goes, last 20% takes 80% of the time. Landscapings look really good.
Yeah, I think I
Yeah,
like this
definitely.
architecture. Sorry.
Go ahead.
I think I like this architecture. It's very looks okay. Yeah, look in here. Look in here, Matt. They're still adding trees.
Mm-hmm. Looks
For now.
like they might be putting in a couple new sets of mega packs pretty soon as well. They're wiring those up currently, but then you've got a couple more boxes sitting over there just waiting.
Yep. So not much happening on this site. Oh, there's a fly on my screen.
Yeah, not much has changed over here, really.
This would be the best house to get. One of these ones on the end here. Got a bit of bush right next to you. A bit of scrub.
For another month or two.
Yeah, you say until you're in the middle of the area.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can launch your tinny down in there. You know what tinnies are, don't you? You know what a tinny is? A little fishing boat, like a little 10 horsepower Mercury on the back. A little flat bottom tinny.
You pass that other side too. The house is on the other side. Nope, keep going back about 10 more or so. There you go.
Oh yeah, that's green built, much the same as this one and that one, up on stilts.
Mm-hmm.
Call that a Queenslander in Australia. A lot of earlier on in Queensland, they built for the heat, I think, to let air go underneath the house.
This has to do with the flood levels. All that is parking garage and stuff, storage underneath the house. The house has to be up that high. And if you look at the other ones, they're putting the pillars in on that lot just above that to do the same thing there.
Stilts is what we call it. Putting a house on stilts.
They're getting it up above flood level.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, if you don't do that, you're not getting it insured. You're not getting a mortgage on it.
Yeah, I lived in a house like that in Terracea here in Florida, where the whole bottom level was like that.
Well, that wasn't for flooding in the Queenslanders. It was just for make the house more comfortable. in temperature, but I understand the flooding here for sure.
In that middle lot too, they did a lot of clearing over the last few weeks. Yep.
This one?
Yep.
It's like a nice place. All right. Nice panoramas all the way from here to the launch site. Good look, quite a long Highway 4. So, oh, look, they've got all this expansion through here already marked out. In here, so that's where the power line started to be moved. At this section, oh, there's another launching ramp all the way through here. Or a boat, we can also call it a boat ramp rather than a launching ramp. I think my landlord's out on his quad bike out around the farm, making the dogs bark. Oh, so that's where we just looked in here, isn't it? Rio West is there, isn't it? And that's those houses over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just can't see it. I say,
You say so. I see clouds.
yeah. They widen the road all the way through, or widen the land, get the land out ready to go. Oh, quite a large section of this part of the highway anyway. There we are at Sanchez. So this is a tricky spot through here. Yep. Come to Sanchez first, then the build site, then off to the launch site. So I'm wondering, does the widening only happen from the build site back to Brownsville, I guess, and not onto the launch site?
To LBJ is where it's supposed to end. Which
Okay,
LBJ. Yeah, right in there, I think.
Cool. Oh, that's when I'm going to put then I'll put a railway line in for the rest to transport the boosters. Remember that that little rumour?
Yeah.
Ah, there's the wheel. At least the wheel didn't fall off. Nice
Brakes are
little
good.
independent disc brake. Of course, aircraft have independent brakes. You can steer an airplane on the brakes. Helps a lot with manoeuvring aircraft. In fact, some nosewheel aircraft don't have a steerable nosewheel. They have a caster nosewheel, and you only use the brakes for steering. Special airplane tyres. Pretty cool. Oh, that's what I was here for that site. See how clear it is? Okay, where are we? Well, we're on that site. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's different. Like there's heaps of stuff in here too, like tons of stuff just in here. They didn't move those three particular things. They're just still randomly sitting there. Haven't moved the turntables or anything over this corner. Maybe they'll get to this corner yet.
How much of the trailers is missing? Is it just those two sets that we see at the port, or is there more missing than that? Can't remember what it looked like. I know they were all parked there.
Let me quickly look. Let me just go back to, how far can I go back here? Let's have a look at 04 of the month. I did just have it up, didn't I? And have I got that window open? Oh, there we go. Oh, well, that's your answer to your question. Wow. There's quite a few missing.
Yeah, that makes me wonder where they are.
Were they at Sanchez? Let me quickly look back at Sanchez. Where is Sanchez? That's not Sanchez. Oh, here it is. Oh, no, it's not. Well, it is, but it's not the one I want. Let me see. I should have Sanchez still. Oh, maybe I've shut Sanchez. Let me just open Sanchez. Oh, here it is. I found it.
Yeah, they could
Well,
be
you-
putting a bunch of that stuff on those new racks that they've just installed recently and have been filling up right there down at the very bottom of the picture there.
I thought they might have gone to the crane yard, but they're not. They're not in the crane yard.
Well, how much of it is actually at the port?
Just two. Oh, wasn't it just two?
Yeah, was it
One
two sets of
second.
two or just two?
Yeah, is it two sets of two or yeah, that's my question. Because that may account for what's missing.
Always asking the difficult question, Alaska. I'll tell you.
Are there?
There was 3 sets of 4 there, right, Alaska?
Yeah.
No, 4 sets of 3.
Keep
I'm
going.
in the wrong week.
3 to 4.
I'm in the wrong week. One second. This is the right week, at least. There. Oh, it's just okay.
Just 2 of them.
Oh, so 2 of them at the port, like say those 2 sets of short, long, long. So short, long, short, long, or vice versa. Probably those ones actually, because they're rigged up. They're at the port, leaving this week. Okay,
Yeah, there's
so
there's 1 or 2 small pieces in addition missing.
those 6 are at the port. These 6 are here, and over there's just 2 pieces missing somewhere. Where?
Yep.
Present and accounted for, except for those 2. Yeah, cool. Good question.
The boss's 4-wheeler sitting on top of one.
Right.
Oh, got lots of shots of that site. Okay, so we might finish up with a quick look around the LNG plant. Is there any other questions in chat? Still nearly 200. Good on you sticking around. How long have you been running
Nope.
today for? Oh,
No
that's 3.5
questions.
hours. Cool. Excellent. Excellent. That was supposed to be a Burns, but it was really poor Burns.
I knew what you were going for.
I kind of crossed it with a James Bond evil. What do you call him? Evil Lord. Evil. What do you call him? Boss. Overlord. I don't know. At this stage, I just start babbling. Just bear with me. Can we just say, what do you mean at this stage? I'm sure that was thought to say, whatever. What's going on over yonder? Anything added over here? Oh, not really. Still looks like a lot of foundations.
I swear I look at things and then my mind blocks out something really crazy. Like, go back to those big tanks.
Yo.
Are those scaffolding along the sides just dropping down off the side?
Oh, yeah. More than likely. Yep. That's what they do.
Yeah, I've never
It's
noticed that
okay.
before because my mind looks at that and says, "No, you guys are crazy."
Oh, no, it's solid and secure. It's done by
I have no
standard.
doubt about that. But no.
Okay.
I'm sorry,
need to go
nothing's Nothing's as crazy as that guy that was hanging on the piece of fence off the tower. Like that's
Yeah, that was nuts.
Yeah, that's nuts. So I do need to go abseiling one day, have a go at abseiling. You can do it up smaller sites. But the reason I say that, it's a really good exercise of trusting equipment and to see how equipment's set up and how you can really trust it. It's a good exercise.
So when I was younger, I used to bungee jump all the time. And yeah, I did it first time because I was scared of heights. But I don't know, since I haven't done that in 25 years, that fear came right back. No thanks.
I will admit though, Todd, on those lines, I used to be comfortable walking across the top of beams like this when I was an electrician, when I was younger, and these days I get more than 15 feet off the ground and my feet go tingly and all my nerves start getting all like, nah, get me down.
Yep.
So yeah, I get what you mean. Okay, and bungee jumping.
Sorry
Wow.
about that. I don't
No.
think I've ever noticed that before.
No sweat. Any questions? You don't have to apologise for ever. Okay, well, so I guess all those fans we saw went on to some of these later trains, like maybe this train here must have just got all its fans. Yeah, train 2 must have got a lot more of its fans this week or something, or over the last couple of weeks. Fans, whatever you want to call these things, chillers, water chillers, whatever you want to call them. Heat exchangers. They're a type of heat exchange, I guess. They're everywhere. They're everywhere. How they're going with their third Barbie pit. So what's this one? Is this another train? What's going on over here?
Yes.
Oh, good. That's the correct answer then.
Yeah, I believe on the other side. But on the right of that picture is where that third Flame Stadium is.
Hang on, where am I? I'm lost.
You're
over here somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to say I'm always lost. Yeah, some days. Some days better. Sometimes I'm better than others. I think we've pretty well covered everything. I don't think there's much really to talk about here. Oh, here we go. That's a better shot. So there's the third one of them.
Correct.
And I was looking further over here, I guess, for the next
Right.
train along. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah, the clouds interrupted a few of our photos this week, yeah. But we did well. It was beautiful weather. It was a really good day for flying. We got some magnificent photos again this week. Man, this site is just humongous. Even the steel on this train makes even Gigabay look like a tiny little toy, to be honest. Alrighty, Matt, can you think... India, I think you can address chat again.
Sure. We want to thank Turtle Sanctuary for his $30 donations that he split up into 3 donations of $10. Thank you, and good night, Turtle Sanctuary.
Yeah, thanks a lot for tonight. That was really good of you. Thank you. And everybody else. But
do I know the Muffin Man? Yeah, that's the Muffin Man that was in Ghostbusters. That Muffin Man, is that right?
The Muffin Man?
He's the Michelin Man.
The Muffin
The one in
Man?
Ghostbusters is the Michelin Man.
The Muffin Man!
You guys are silly.
Are they going to show us the stacking? Oh, what happened there? Did this camera stop?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's just...
What did you do?
Sorry. He's a Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, not the Michelin Man or the Muffin Man.
Are you talking about the Ghostbuster one or not here? I'm a bit confused now.
Yeah, the Ghostbuster one is Stay
the one in the
Puft.
Ghostbuster.
Glad we cleared that up. And thanks, Turtle Sanctuary. That's awesome. Your support's amazing. Thank you, Ewan over there. You're one of our regular and generous contributors, and we really appreciate that very, very much. A special shout out always to our special contributors. Yourself and Martin's another one. He's a special contributor as well. There's a few of us out there. I'm not going to do this properly, but yeah, all of our supporters. Just being a Patreon member, just being a YouTube member, just liking the streams, commenting on the streams. All these things are very valuable support for our This Is a channel, which we hope to it's continuing along nicely. We're doing okay, and it's a good channel. It's a really nice community, and we're really glad everyone is helping to support it and keeping it going, which we can't do without your support. So we appreciate it a lot. And I'll reiterate, I appreciate being able to sit here and talking to you all and being one of the conversation leaders. I really appreciate doing that. And I'll thank Indy. Indy's been amazing with throughout the whole history of the channel, but especially just recently again, jumping in, doing the questions and donations. So thank you today for Indy.
Thank you. It's always my pleasure.
And the other contributors, Event Dudes and other people have contributed today. Todd and Jake, we've lost Jake, and Alaska pipes up in every now and again. That's awesome too. And Kiwi, Event Dudes, it's awesome. So I'm going to say my name's been Stephanie B, Aussie Space Girl on YouTube, and appreciate you all. And just remember, everybody, we're all very, very much more alike than we are different. So just keep that in mind as you go through life, and you'll be right. So thank you, and that'll do me for the show, I think, Matt. I'll leave it with you now. Thank you, Matt.
Thanks so much, Steph. All right, just want to remind everybody our next flyover is scheduled for Saturday at 2:45 p.m. Central Time. So we will look to see you guys then. And then, of course, we will have our regular weekly show on Sunday. And again, next Tuesday, same time for Starbase Xpanded. So until then, love, peace, and chopstick rail grease.